क्या हम AI से एक इंसान का दिमाग भी क्लोन कर सकते हैं?
Mark Zuckerberg is actually building his AI clone that can run Meta. He is trying to build an AI CEO that has God's eye visibility of everything that is happening simultaneously in the real time.
$1 trillion market crash after just an AI model enters the market. कौन से ऐसे careers हैं which are most at risk because of AI?
I would like to speak the truth, and it might sound harsh, but 100% of the white-collar jobs will be replaced. So,
Even the doctors?
like doctors will be replaced too.
कौन सी ऐसी इंडस्ट्री है जिसको AI completely disrupt कर देगा आने वाले 5 साल में?
For India, it might not be a very good news. Next 5 years में guaranteed ये IT outsourcing industry का जितने भी digital work है ये सारे AI models करेंगे.
How can a beginner start earning money in the next 20-30 days using AI?
That is how you can build a zero human, fully automated business today as a beginner.
What if people get hold of the uncensored AI?
That can cause a problem.
How bad of a problem?
On the dark web, you can hire an assassin to go kill someone, just paying them Bitcoin. Nobody will ever know your identity.
But is AI becoming more powerful than governments?
The Nepal government decided to ban Meta. You guys might have heard what followed next. There was a big riot. Gen Zs came on the streets and they overthrew the government. If Modi tries to go against Meta, then Meta will definitely start going against Modi, and maybe in the next election, JP might not win.
Hi Ujjwal, welcome to the Misfit Humans podcast.
Hi Dhruv, how are you?
I am absolutely fine. बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए you are a new face. A lot of people might not know you. I'll start with a brief introduction about you, and I'll want you to take it forward, right? We have Mr. Ujjwal here. He is an AI scientist. He's the person who has in-depth knowledge about how AI actually works. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ujjwal.
No, that's very true.
Tell me something about yourself जो कि लोगों को जानना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, because आज के समय में लोगों को कुछ भी जानने से पहले before they get some knowledge out of the conversation, they want to know कि वो किससे जान रहे हैं.
हाँ. So शुरू में तो I don't know if it's important for people to know or not. लेकिन I'm a misfit, so it's good to be in a Misfit Humans podcast. और AI के विषय में I have been working in AI since last 10 years.
Wow.
तो मतलब प्रोफेशनली 10 साल से काम कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन इसमें पढ़ाई और वो सारी चीज़ अगर ऐड करें तो it will be almost 15 years.
Wow.
और जब मैं ग्रेजुएट हुआ तो I had offers from Tesla, Boeing, Intel, Micron, and a very, very fast-moving startup called Xcraft. It was a drone startup.
Wow.
So I had to decide like which one to go, and I picked Micron क्योंकि Micron was like one of my dream companies to work for. और Micron में भी मैं जब गया तो in the beginning started as an intern, and then later on moved on very quickly to become an engineer, then lead engineer, and then senior engineer in a span of like very short period of time कि मेरे bosses को complain था कि ये काम बहुत करता है और दूसरे लोग के साथ उनका complain था कि काम बहुत कम करता है. तो ऐसे करके career में अच्छा advancement हुआ, और मतलब काम करते करते हमको बाद में पता चला कि artificial intelligence आ रहा है, क्योंकि I was put in the enterprise cloud division.
Okay.
जहाँ हमारा की कस्टमर्स वेयर, की अकाउंट्स वेयर लाइक मेटा, गूगल, अमेजॉन, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, IBM, लिनोवो. सो ये टॉप हाइपर स्केलर्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. एंड हाइपर स्केलर जिनको नहीं मालूम है, हाइपर स्केलर्स आर द काइंड्स ऑफ कंपनीज दैट स्केल्स वेरी क्विकली in terms of the data center and compute capacity. So companies like Meta, they have to add data centers after data centers, not every year but every quarter, because the demand of their compute is increasing, right? Microsoft का भी वही problem है. Microsoft 365 runs all the professional world, right? Like सारे corporations चलते हैं उन पे. Amazon का AWS product है, like more than 70-80% startups and even bigger companies run on AWS. तो ये सारे हमारे customers थे. और around 2018 all of a sudden हमारे डिवीज़न में AI वर्कलोड्स का डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा आने लगे. मतलब सारे लोग बोलने लगे कि यू गाइज नीड टू बी रेडी फॉर AI वर्कलोड्स. एंड उसके बाद मैं AI वर्कलोड्स में मतलब काम करने लगा कि हाउ डज AI वर्कलोड एक्चुअली वर्क ऑन द चिप, राइट? लाइक हाउ कैन the chip architectures of today can execute the AI workloads efficiently. तो उस पर काम किया और वहाँ से I started understanding about this new AI. I could actually see that सबसे पहले LLM आएगा.
LLM क्या होता है?
Large language models. तो जितने भी हम जानते हैं Claude by Anthropic और ChatGPT by OpenAI, DeepSeek, ये सारे जो मॉडल्स हैं ये LLMs हैं, Large Language Models. तो लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स का कैपेसिटी और कैपेबिलिटी थोड़ा थोड़ा मैंने 2018-2019 में देखने लगा, क्योंकि हमको उसका चिप बनाना था, राइट? तो वहाँ से मुझे लगा कि अरे दिस कैन बी अ रियली रियली बिग थिंग फॉर ह्यूमैनिटी एंड इट कैन एक्चुअली चेंज द ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन. क्योंकि लैंग्वेज मतलब ऐसा चीज़ है जो मतलब इवन इफ़ वी लुक एट हमारा जो मानव सभ्यता है, ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन, हम बहुत आगे आए हैं अभी तक. एंड द रीज़न बिहाइंड दैट इज़ हम कम्युनिकेट कर सकते हैं. और हमारे मतलब कॉमन लैंग्वेज है, एक इंटरनेशनल लैंग्वेज है इंग्लिश, और ट्राइबल लैंग्वेजेस है, नेशनल लैंग्वेजेस है, राइट? डिफरेंट सोसाइटी का डिफरेंट स्लैंग्स. और हम बहुत फास्ट एक दूसरे से कम्युनिकेट करके हम ग्रुप टुगेदर होके और हज़ारों लाखों आदमी एक साथ आके हम बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट प्रोडक्ट्स बना सकते हैं और इन्वेंशन कर सकते हैं, राइट? लाइक इंटेल में उस टाइम में देयर वर 400,000 पीपल, राइट? माइक्रोन में अराउंड 40,000 पीपल था. मेटा में ऑलमोस्ट 100,000 पीपल वर वर्किंग. So it's like 100,000 humans coming together and then building a meaningful product. And what are we using to build the product? Yes, of course, we're using technology, computer, all of that. But the key in underlying technology that we're using is our language. We communicate with each other, right? And language is something that is so invasive in human life. It is used in work. It is used in personal relationship. तो मैंने देखा कि अब ये लैंग्वेज कंप्यूटर में जा रहा है, राइट? और कंप्यूटर मतलब दे कैन थिंक, क्योंकि लैंग्वेज यूज़ करने से पहले हमारा ब्रेन में प्रोसेस होता है, राइट? और प्रोसेस होके जैसे अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं और जो भी वर्ड निकल रहा है, वन बाय वन, वर्ड आफ्टर वर्ड और सेंटेंस आफ्टर सेंटेंस मेरा ब्रेन प्रोसेस करके निकाल रहा है, राइट? ट्रू. एंड माई माउथ इज जस्ट स्पीकिंग इट. तो मैंने देखा कि अगर कंप्यूटर ये चीज़ कर सकता है तो बहुत चीज़ वो लोग कर सकते हैं, राइट? लाइक बहुत चीज़ जो लोग करते हैं ये कर सकते हैं. और उसके बाद मैं तो इंटरप्राइज क्लाउड डिवीज़न में था, जहाँ पे हम लोग स्केल कर रहे थे ये कंप्यूट कैपेसिटीज़, राइट? वी वर द लाइक मेटा डज नॉट build or did not build in 2018 their own chips. Now they are working on building their own chips, right?
Okay.
But at that time, Meta was relying on companies like Micron to give them large scale storage, solid state drives, and compute के लिए वो use कर रहे थे Intel को, Intel AMD, right? Graphics के लिए Nvidia को. So anyways, तो वहाँ से पता चल गया कि अच्छा कोई बड़ा रिवोल्यूशन होने वाला है, एंड समथिंग दैट वी हैवंट सीन इन लास्ट सो मेनी ईयर्स. एंड तो वहाँ से मैं AI में बहुत इंटरेस्टेड हो गया. एंड आई गॉट सो इंटरेस्टेड टू द पॉइंट दैट आफ्टर माइक्रॉन आई एक्चुअली गॉट एन ऑफर टू गो टू इंटेल, एंड देन आई वेंट देयर, मूव टू कैलिफोर्निया, बे एरिया, where the real action was happening in technology. और वहाँ पे भी सब लोग AI के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, राइट? लाइक वाई कम्बिनेटर के टॉक्स में ज़्यादा था मैं, तो वहाँ पर भी AI स्टार्टअप सब खुल रहे थे. और उस वक्त मुझे नहीं मालूम था कि मैं क्या करने वाला हूँ AI में, राइट? क्योंकि मेरे पास बहुत ब्रॉड नॉलेज था. तो मेरा जो तभी का मेंटर था, लकीली ही वाज इंटेल सीईओ पैट जेल्सिंगर एट दैट टाइम, एंड मैंने पैट को बोला कि पैट, आई एम लीविंग द कंपनी इंटेल, और वो हैरान हो गया, बोला अरे तुम्हारा इतना अच्छा करियर हो रहा है इंटेल में, तुम क्यों छोड़ोगे? तो मैंने बोला कि नहीं, मुझे एआई में कुछ करना है, और हिज क्वेश्चन वाज कि तुम लाइक व्हाट इज योर स्टार्टअप गोइंग टू डू, एंड माय आंसर वाज मुझे नहीं मालूम क्या करेगा, एआई में कुछ करेगा लेकिन क्या करेगा मुझे नहीं मालूम। तो उसके बाद आई स्टार्टेड स्केल बिल्ड एआई आफ्टर क्विटिंग इंटेल, and yeah, after that it just took the natural progression.
And you're leading multiple initiatives, right? What is the bigger vision? मतलब इतने सारे tools हैं, इतने सारे options हैं लोगों के पास. What is the bigger vision behind your work?
So yeah, sometimes people ask me ki, why are you involved in like 2 different companies, right? Like Cethos, Scale Build, and then a non-profit, World AI Alliance. And my answer to that is that it was a known fact in New York that Cethos CEO is going to be replaced, and then I got that opportunity somehow, right? That they were like, you should be the CEO, and then started leading Cethos, and then Scale Build AI तो मैंने found ही किया था, तो I could not be leaving it or like giving it to someone because they wouldn't be able to take like such a complex machine, right, that I had already built, because it would take years and years of download to like teach someone कि क्या हो रहा है इसमें. और World AI Alliance was something जो it was a group of people that actually came together. Some AI scientists that are really respected in Silicon Valley, and then some thought leaders. They were like, okay, so who is going to take care of the ethical part of the AI? क्योंकि सारे तो मतलब AI companies तो for profit है. Even companies like OpenAI, which started as a non-profit organization, right? When they saw the money and when they saw like what scale it can go to, they changed their narrative. They were like, okay, from now we are a for-profit company, right? They actually changed their status from non-profit to for-profit. So who is going to fill the gap that OpenAI going from a non-profit to for-profit created, right? So we were like, okay, so we need to do something to fill that gap. So with that, I got involved with World AI Alliance.
Already market में बहुत सारे AI chatbots हैं, right? What makes your AI technology better or maybe more useful compared to tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, and so many more?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and I think our customers should be asking that question too.
Exactly.
It's a very valid point. So I would actually like to talk a little bit about history. So yes, I'm a technologist, scientist,
Yeah.
but I've also always been an entrepreneur, right? So when I was in high school, we had a small business of doing events, right? And me and a couple of our friends, it was called Pioneer Event Management. So that's how I ventured into my, I would say, entrepreneurial journey from my high school. And when I went to US at the age of 17, I actually built an app called Mitzi that would connect solo travelers going to the same destination. So I've always been interested in entrepreneurship, okay, and maybe that's why today I'm both an AI scientist but also an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur, one thing that I realized was it's not very easy to start a business. A lot of people say that it's not very easy to start a business, and a lot of people also say that 99% of the startups fail, right? So what are the underlying factors that actually make both of these statements true, right? So it's not very easy to start a business because starting a business requires capital. If you are willing to start a real, sustainable, and a competitive business, you have to have capital. Not everybody is fortunate enough to have a capital,
Agree.
right? And or like backing or credit worthiness to even get a loan from the bank, right? And the next thing is, even if you start a business, making it survive past 2 to 3 years, it's tough. And then that's why 99% of the startups fail. And the reason behind that is that you are literally up against the top guys in the same industry, and you are trying to compete with them who have like vast amount of resources, vast amount of money, and the know-how, right? The skills to perform or conduct that business. So we built Scalova by thinking that how do we solve this problem? So how do you start a business with zero capital, right?
Wow.
And also another problem that we saw in the world is that the cost to capital is also increasing, meaning if you want to take a loan from the bank, then the interest rate is ever increasing, right? So today we are in the situation, and this is true for US, also it's true for India, कि interest rate तो increased है ही, but at the same time inflation is also high, right? So inflation high का मतलब whatever business used to cost 2 crores for the seed capital पहले, now it might cost 3 crores, 3.5 crores because everything is more expensive now, right?
It is.
And उसका जो cost of servicing that loan is also higher क्योंकि
Agree.
आपका interest rate, it has gone from maybe 6-7% for business loans to 14-15% now.
Right.
So it has more than doubled. तो so that's why I wanted to create a system जहाँ पे $0 capital और ₹0 से business को start कर सके और उसको operate भी कर सके. तो इसके लोभा में what happens is if you have a business idea, आपको कोई भी idea हो, आपको first जो चीज़ें चाहिए, जैसे आपको brand kit चाहिए, brand बनाना पड़ता है, logo बनाना पड़ता है, right? आपको website चाहिए, आपको कस्टमर डेस्क चाहिए, आपको इन्वेस्टर डेस्क चाहिए, तो ये सारे चीज़ आपको बना के देता है. जैसे मैंने जब स्केल बिल्ड एआई स्टार्ट किया था तो इट टुक मी 6 months टू गेट ऑल ऑफ दिस थिंग्स रेडी, एंड आई डिडंट इवन नो व्हाट आई नीड बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट हैव एन MBA डिग्री, राइट? आई वाज एन इंजीनियरिंग गाय विथ सम आइडिया टू स्टार्ट अ बिजनेस. लेकिन और दूसरी बात, बिजनेस वर्ल्ड में मेरा उतना इन डेप्थ नॉलेज नहीं था जो मैं मतलब बहुत जल्द ये काम सब कर सकूं. जैसे मुझे नहीं मालूम था कि मुझे एक सेल्स डेक बनाना चाहिए और कस्टमर्स को जाके पिच करना चाहिए. मुझे ये नहीं मालूम था कि इन्वेस्टर डेक बना के और इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ जाके मुझे बात करना चाहिए. मैं क्या शुरू में वॉट एवर मनी आई हैड इन माई सेविंग्स, आई वॉज जस्ट यूजिंग दैट, राइट? आई वॉज माई ओन इन्वेस्टर. So with Scalova, what it does is that at first it creates your external facade. It creates the digital layer of your business. That is your website and your branding and social media management and all of that. And then it actually prompts you, or it helps you to go reach out to these kinds of investors. It can also find you those investors.
By itself. The AI model.
Yes.
Basically जो आप कहना चाह रहे हो कि हम एक आइडिया को AI मॉडल को देंगे और वो उसके लिए वेबसाइट भी बनाएगा, उसके लिए सेल्स पिच भी बनाएगा, सेल्स डेक भी बनाएगा, वो लोगो भी बनाएगा, वो सारा का सारा वर्कफ्लो भी क्रिएट करेगा और उसके बाद वो इन्वेस्टर्स के पास भी खुद ही जाएगा.
हाँ, और पिच करेगा उसको. और वो और जब हम फंडिंग उठाते हैं ना, मतलब एक सीक्रेट है इस इंडस्ट्री का, स्टार्टअप इंडस्ट्री का, which successful entrepreneurs know. How does some entrepreneur with zero network raise like millions of dollars? And I would like to say that secret here on this podcast. It's a numbers game. If your success rate is 1%, then if you reach out to 100 investors, 1 person will give you the money. But if your success rate, let's say your idea is really bad and your success rate is 0.1%, then you reach out to 1,000 people and then 1 person will give you money. But your idea is like really, really bad. It's the worst idea ever. And your success rate is now 0.001%. You reach out to 10,000 people. But how long does it take to get to know 10,000 investors, or even like send your deck to like email your deck to 10,000 people?
It will take months.
Yeah, months or sometimes years, right? And, given how driven the founder is. लेकिन अब through Scalova, AI agents can crawl the internet, it can crawl the LinkedIn data and find out who are the investors who would be the best who would suit best, or like the most suitable investors who are investing in that niche, who are actively investing. What are these investors' past investments, right? And who would be the best fit? So it not just like sends the deck to the like any random investor. It finds the investors that aligns with your idea and that is the best fit, and that can bring in not just the money but also their network, their advice and things like that to make your business succeed. At the same time, it also crawls the internet and then it finds out your ICP. So ICP is ideal customer profile.
Wow.
Who would be your best customers for this?
Crazy.
And then finds you customers, and then once customers start paying you, you get revenue, right? So the business kicks on. So you can, with Scalova, you can take an idea that is in your head into a living and breathing business that is operating out in the world.
Before we go deeper into the AI learning part, बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है that AI is too technical. ये एक ऐसी चीज है जो कि आसान नहीं है समझनी, और AI का डर भी है बहुत लोगों को, as they say, right? अगर मैं सिंपल वर्ड्स में समझना चाहूं, एंड इफ यू एक्सप्लेन इट टू मी, और साथ में आई रियली want you to tell the capabilities of AI. What are the capabilities of AI today?
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question. तो at first, what is AI? AI क्या है? AI एक ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी है जो किसी भी काम के लिए पहले जो ह्यूमन ब्रेन यूज़ करना पड़ता था, मानव की सोचन शक्ति प्रयोग करना पड़ता था कोई काम करने के लिए, वो अगर कंप्यूटर कर सकता है तो उसको आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और AI बोला जाता है. और इसका अभी के समय में कैपेसिटी इतना है कि if you had 100,000 people working for you, and if you are able to afford that kind of payroll, right, and whatever output you could get with AI, let's say you cannot afford that kind of payroll, AI is actually able to do it today. So it can give you the output of 100,000 people working for you. So if you are a young person that is willing to start a startup, right, you should not be blocked by thinking that, oh, I don't have capital to set up the business or hire the whole manpower that is required to make it into a successful business. Today you can actually have 100,000 AI agents working for you for almost free. And it is helping you day and night to make you a successful entrepreneur.
How capable is AI today? क्या क्या किया जा सकता है AI से आज की डेट में?
बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है. एक तो मतलब जितना भी नॉलेज वर्क है, राइट, जितना भी डिजिटल वर्क है वो सारे AI कर सकते हैं, राइट. लाइक तो नॉलेज वर्क में जैसे वेबसाइट डिज़ाइन, राइट, सॉफ्टवेयर डिज़ाइन, देन वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट, सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट, digital marketing, or and everything that digital marketing includes, including content writing and stuff, वो सारे कर सकते हैं. Also chain of actions, जो मतलब to achieve any complex result, right, it actually requires a complex chain of actions, right. तो chain of actions को बना के और ये action को execute भी कर सकते हैं. So it's not just simple thing what we see in ChatGPT ki we are giving a prompt, it's giving an answer, it's a conversational chatbot, right? It can actually execute and run a company today.
Wow.
And we have already heard this year Mark Zuckerberg is actually building his AI clone that can run Meta.
His own AI clone?
Yeah. So he is building an AI CEO for Meta that takes the best decision. It is connected the live data from the company, and companies that have already built really good data systems can already take advantage of it. We are already there. It's not something of the future.
मतलब क्या हम AI के माध्यम से एक इंसान का दिमाग भी क्लोन कर सकते हैं? Like is it possible?
हाँ, अगर हम right amount of training उसको दे, उस AI मॉडल को और एजेंट को, तो हम क्लोन कर सकते हैं.
And is it the same thing that Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do with his own AI model, with his own AI clone, I'll say?
So what Zuckerberg is trying to do is he's trying to make a better CEO than himself. So he's trying to make, because his brain cannot be connected to the live data feed, right? Like Facebook is generating millions, or like I should say millions of billions of data points every hour, right? His brain cannot be connected to it. right? He just has a very high level view, like a 50,000 view, foot view of the company, right? And that is true for most CEOs in most of the companies. But he's trying to build an AI CEO that has a God's eye visibility of everything that is happening simultaneously in the real time, and is able to take the best decisions that is data driven.
बहुत सारे लोगों के मन में एक डाउट होता है एंड दे से कि यार एआई क्या है, इट इज द स्मार्टर वर्जन ऑफ गूगल, राइट? बट फंडामेंटल डिफरेंस क्या है बिटवीन द गूगल सर्च एंड एआई?
तो गूगल सर्च एक सर्च इंजन है, तो उसमें वॉट एवर यू सर्च इट एक्चुअली क्रॉल्स द वेब एंड देन फाइंड्स द मोस्ट रेलिवेंट लिंक्स. तो आप गूगल में कुछ सर्च करो तो ये आपको लिंक लिस्ट देता है. उसमें मतलब बहुत सारे लिंक्स रहते हैं, राइट? पेज 1 से लेके थाउजेंड्स ऑफ मिलियंस ऑफ पेजेस में आपको वो दे देता है. मोस्ट रेलिवेंट लिंक फर्स्ट पेज में रहता है. जब पहले गूगल आया था, आई रिमेंबर यूजिंग इट व्हेन आई वाज अ किड, तो समटाइम्स यू वुड फाइंड योर आंसर इन द 4th पेज, 5th पेज, व्हाटएवर यू आर लुकिंग फॉर. और उसमें भी आंसर आपको नहीं मिलते थे, आपको लिंक मिलते थे और वेबसाइट मिलते थे जिसको आप क्लिक करके वहाँ पे आप आंसर ढूंढ सकते हो. लेकिन ये एआई जो है, जो चैट जीपीटी है और क्लॉड है, ये सर्च इंजन नहीं है. इसमें सर्च इंजन एक छोटा सा पार्ट है, राइट? ये भी सर्च तो ये भी करता है, लेकिन ये एक रीजनिंग मॉडल है. ये सर्च करके उसका सारे कंटेंट पढ़ के रीजनिंग भी करता है, राइट? ये थिंकिंग करता है,
राइट?
और उसके बाद ये डिसीजन करता है कि ये सारे पढ़ के और इसका कंक्लूजन समराइजेशन ये है, और आपको फाइनल आउटपुट जो आप ढूंढ रहे हैं वो आपको देता है.
It researches for you and gives you the right answer based on the question that you are asking.
Yes.
और वो उसको भी इवेल्युएट करता है कि आप किस डायरेक्शन में उस क्वेश्चन को पूछ रहे हो. एक ब्रॉड स्पेक्ट्रम आंसर नहीं है कि आपने पूछा व्हाट इज दिस, उसने आपको 10 वेबसाइट दे दी है जिसमें हो सकता है कि एक कुछ और बता रहा हो, एक कुछ और बता रहा हो. इट विल इवेल्युएट ईच एंड एवरीथिंग फॉर यू बेस्ड ऑन योर क्वेश्चन, राइट?
करेक्ट.
यार, I really want to understand the difference, but I also want to understand कि in terms के exact meaning क्या होते हैं, and then we can understand what is the major difference between all these things. जब भी हम AI की बात करते हैं, artificial intelligence की बात करते हैं, तो हम बोलते हैं there is the thing called machine learning, there is generative AI, there is physical AI, right? ये सारी चीजें हैं क्या?
अच्छा, तो machine learning is a way we actually build these AI models. So what we realized around 20 years ago is that machines can actually learn. These AI models, they can be trained. ठीक है? जैसे once a baby is born, it actually is a blank slate, right? It has no data fed into it. लेकिन हम उनको सिखाते हैं कि this is water, this is air, and then also it learns from the environment. So human beings are a self-learning, you can call it a device, machine, or being, whatever, right? So machine learning is kind of like that, where now machines are able to learn, right?
Through the data that is already provided.
Yeah. That is provided, or now we're at a point where it can itself crawl the internet, find the relevant data, and train itself also, right? Because it's a self-correcting
After everything now is obviously digital.
Yes. So that is machine learning. Generative AI it actually generates information for you, right? So it actually reads millions and millions of websites and then generates the best possible answer for you, right? It generates word after word, right? So it can generate a sentence by like spitting out 20 different words, right?
Wow.
It can generate images, videos, documents. तो ये सारी चीज़ जो जनरेट कर सकते हैं, जो AI यूजफुल आर्टिफैक्ट्स, उसको जनरेटिव AI बोले जाते हैं. और फिजिकल AI इज समथिंग, हम लोग मतलब बहुत बात करते हैं AI एजेंट्स के बारे में और दिस सेल्फ लर्निंग मॉडल्स के बारे में, और पहले से ही हम लोग रोबोटिक्स में भी मतलब काम कर रहे हैं. हम मतलब अस एज ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, राइट? हम लोग रोबोट बना रहे हैं, ऑटोमेटेड रोबोट्स. एंड द ड्रीम ऑफ रोबोटिक्स वर्ल्ड वाज दैट वी कैन क्रिएट something as good as human or even like by versioning it, something that is like millions of times better than a human, right? When it comes to the work capabilities, so physical work capabilities or mental thinking capability. Because if we look at a human, we have two different capabilities. If we are like talking at a very high level, mental capability and physical capability, right? And the world has been moving. So we have been coming from stone age to the information age, right? So we're using less and less of our physical capabilities for survival and more of a mental capability. However, physical work is still there, right?
It is.
Still, there are some work that requires you to lift stuff, right? There are like industries, factories where physical work needs to happen, like car manufacturing. A lot of physical work is happening over there, right? And हमारे जो अभी का जो like the body of a modern human being is not like the body of a human being 3,000 years ago.
True.
Right? Because we don't have to break stones anymore. We don't have to chop woods. So of course, हमारा तो ऐसा training ही नहीं है. तो who is going to be doing all this hard work of creating like electric cars for us, rockets to make life multiplanetary? So physical work भी बहुत ज़्यादा है. So now what we're doing is we're keeping these very smart AI models or AI agents into these robots that we had been developing. तो पहले का जो robot का जो operating system था, that is completely stripped away, and now powerful models like Anthropic's model like Opus 4.6 or GPT 5.2, these models can be directly put in the robots. And अब robots reason भी कर सकता है, वो अपने आप it can think and it can understand what to do next.
I was literally shitting stones when I got to know that ये भी हो सकता है, because when we were kids हम लोग जेटसन्स देखते थे and there were so many cartoons and we used to be like wow यार ये तो futuristic है and then our parents were like this is just sci-fi, right? ये सिर्फ साइंस फिक्शन है and ये रियलिटी कभी होगी या नहीं होगी, इट्स जस्ट एन इमेजिनेशन. बट जब उस इमेजिनेशन को, उस साइंस फिक्शन को रियल लाइफ में होते हुए देख रहा हूं ना मैं अब, like after 20-25 years, literally this is mind boggling. This is something जो कि लोगों ने सोचा नहीं था. The capabilities are increasing day by day और अभी तो हम लोग physical AI की तरफ देख रहे हैं. We are just saying कि it is the next wave.
We're in the baby steps.
We are the baby steps. अभी तो AI है. And then we say AI के बाद we are trying to achieve AGI and then ASI. इसके बारे में भी मैं थोड़ा सा जानना चाहता हूं कि what exactly is AGI and then what exactly will ASI look like?
हाँ, तो AI का जो development हो रहा है moves from ANI, which is artificial narrow intelligence, जहाँ पे हम अभी हैं, or maybe right now we are at the borderline of ANI and AGI.
Okay.
Just 6 months ago we were at ANI and now we are already talking about AGI, and then people like Sam Altman says that we think we have AGI here. Dario said it last week that we think that we have AGI. Okay. And then Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of NVIDIA, said that yes, AGI is already here. It's not a thing of.
वो तो कहते हैं that his model, the OpenClaw model, is the AGI.
Yeah. So,
is it true? Do you think that it is the next level of AI?
Yes, I think so. So I think I don't know about OpenClaw, but I think that OpenAI's top performing models do have AGI components in it, or we can see the signs of AGI in it. Anthropic में भी पहले के मॉडल के बारे में तो बहुत नहीं कह सकते, लेकिन Opus 4.6 मॉडल जो है उसमें you can see some characteristics of the AGI.
AGI के क्या characteristics होते हैं?
हाँ, तो आर्टिफिशियल नैरो इंटेलिजेंस जो है ANI, वो इट हैज़ स्पेसिफिक यूज केसेस और ये स्पेसिफिक एरियाज में इसके पास इंटेलिजेंस. आर्टिफिशियल जनरल इंटेलिजेंस और AGI जो है इसको सारे कॉन्टेक्स्ट और सारे टॉपिक्स के बारे में सारे चीज़ मालूम है, ठीक है. तो इट कैन एक्चुअली कंबाइन फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, बायोलॉजी and computer science together and be able to create new products that we have never seen before, right? So, and then with the advent of quantum computing and then advancement in quantum physics, right, it can actually create new kinds of technologies that might look like a magic to us. So for example, if we look at the cell phone, iPhone today, अगर आईफोन को 200 साल, सिर्फ 200 साल रिवाइंड करके किसी को दिखाया जाए कि देखो यहाँ से फेस टाइम होता है, देखो इंस्टाग्राम लाइव होता है और कितने सारे ऐप्स चलते हैं, दे वुड से कि क्या है, बिकॉज 200 years ago we didn't even have electricity, right? Electricity is a 200-year-old technology. So this technology is electricity, internet, SaaS, telecom, all of these combined technology, right? So which is like what we have built from like normal science and engineering, right? From whatever we knew. AGI is where you actually combine everything, right? So just think about how many PhDs are coming out every year from around the world, right? And how many PhDs have written, because every PhD has to write a thesis paper, right? How many PhDs have we produced in last 100 years? And how many individual theses do we have? Can anybody go through all of those theses and then come up with something new that didn't exist before, right? But the AI can go through every thesis and it can actually connect the dots, because there are physics labs all over the world, right? And they're all coming up with some very tiny, minuscule discovery that happens, maybe the behavior of electron, behavior of proton, Higgs particles, right? Some people are working on quarks when it comes to particle physics, right? There are new advancement in quantum physics, right? In different, maybe some theoretical physics, they are like working day and night their entire life, and at the age of 80 or 90 they're coming up with some new equation that makes a tiny improvement to the existing physics, not very big,
right?
But we have never really looked at what if we combine all these dots in physics and be able to see the bigger picture. So now AI can do that, right? So technologies like AGI can do that. But then even our human body or any living system, it's a physical system, right? So laws of physics applies to them. Like even though our body is a biological system, or a plant or any animal, they are biological systems, but laws of physics apply to them because they are in the realm of physical world, and all the law of physics, whether it's a classical physics or quantum physics, it applies to them, right? So then what is the connection or relationship between a cell and a quantum physics and how it operates? What is the relationship between how our neuron fires and the quantum physics, right? And now you apply chemistry to it, and then mathematics to it, and then think about the kind of understanding that we can have. And if we look at like the top models, it is already performing, like it is passing the toughest law exams, right? The bar exams with the like very, very high numbers, right? That only the top humans in the field of law can do. But the same model is also passing all the advanced physics exams. That is very tough, right? Mathematics, right? Languages, like different languages in the world, it excels in that. Chemistry. So basically, like all the science, all the arts, all the commerce exams, it is able to pass with the flying colors, and not just flying colors, but the top grades, right? So once you combine all of this and then come up with new physics or new chemistry or new discoveries, it actually changes our world. Like the world that we're living in today might look very, very traditional just 20 years later.
मतलब जो आप बातें बोल रहे हो ना, उन बातों को सुन के ना डर लग रहा है, राइट? मतलब दिस इज समथिंग जो डरने वाली कोई बात नहीं है, बट अगर इसको बहुत गहराई से समझने की कोशिश करो. एज दे से दैट AI is a black box and nobody still knows कि उसकी क्या कैपेबिलिटीज हैं और वो किस अंत तक पहुंच सकता है. इट्स लाइक अ ब्लैक होल. द डीपर यू गो द डीपर इट टेक्स यू, राइट. एंड जब हम कहते हैं कि इंसान का दिमाग ही इतना ज्यादा पावरफुल है कि कोई भी चीज, मतलब पॉसिबिलिटीज आर एंडलेस, बट यहां पे जहां एक मशीन हजारों ह्यूमन माइंड्स को एक साथ एक जगह पे लाके काम कर सकती है, इट्स टू स्केरी एट टाइम्स टू जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट. क्योंकि वही एक एजेंट, AI एजेंट, नॉट अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, knows mathematics, knows biology, knows chemistry, knows quantum physics. He has the brain, or she, or whatever we call it, of Einstein and 100 more, I'll say. All the most intelligent people who have quoted, written, given thesis, journals, वो सब कुछ पढ़ रहा है, उसको सब कुछ समझ में आ रहा है और वो सारी चीजों को एक साथ इस्तेमाल कर सकता है. बट यहां पे एक और स्केरी चीज है. जब AGI इतना कुछ कर सकता है, देन व्हाट अबाउट ASI?
हाँ, तो नेक्स्ट स्टेज इज आफ्टर AGI we achieve AGI, we'll continue working on the AI, right? क्योंकि one characteristic of a human is that we never stop building. And ये बात मुझे एक बहुत striking realization हुआ just a couple days ago. I was in Egypt. Okay, so before I landed in New Delhi, I went to Cairo, Egypt, and I had a like bucket list item was to go to the pyramids. I had seen several documentaries on it, and then I went to the pyramid, saw the sheer scale of what is built there. It is literally an engineering masterpiece.
It is,
right, and it's a feat that human beings achieved 4,500 years ago.
Yes,
That's a very, very long time ago.
It
like
is.
even our gods like Buddha, he appeared 2,500 years ago.
Right.
Jesus appeared 2,500 years ago. It's 2,000 years before Buddha or Jesus appeared on this
Right.
earth, right? How did we build that kind? I mean, pyramid is a technology, right? Or it's an example of use of technology. So what it proves is that human beings have always been building. They have always been pushing the limits. They have always been building with whatever resources they have, whatever cognitive abilities that they have, right? Whatever materials that they have, they're combining the materials, cognitive abilities, knowledge, information, putting it together, building stuff. And pyramid is an example of that, right? So even after we achieve AGI, we're not going to stop. We are going to be working on ASI, artificial super intelligence, right? And ASI is a point where we can also call it singularity, right? Artificial singular intelligence, where now the AI does not just have the information, but it also has the ability to run the physical world much more efficiently than how us humans have been running it since last few million years, right? Because humans have been running our systems or our planet since last whatsoever years that we have been on Earth, right? And what if our water systems, our health systems, transportation systems, right? The governance systems, education systems, it's all being run by AI, right? So ASI will actually be one single brain that does already have AGI, meaning like it has connection to all the historical data, the data present, whatever is happening right now, and the projections into the future. It will actually have a very, very accurate projection. And then Elon Musk always says that the best way to measure intelligence of AI is that how accurate is it in predicting the future. If we can have an AI that is predicting the future 100% accurately 100% of the time, then that's a perfect AI, right? Because everything that it is predicting. But I don't know what he believes by predicting the future, but I believe predicting the future is even what will happen the next second, because the way the life operates is it operates moment to moment, right? Every second we are going into the new second into the future, right?
Right.
And then the reality, the way it presents to us is that there's a present moment every time. So the way we are living is that it's a bunch of now, just a now, and then a second later it's a now, and then second. But what will happen a second later? We actually don't know.
True.
I mean, in the
True.
entire world.
True.
And to me, it actually seems like even the universe is generative in nature,
It is.
where every second is being generated
Right.
when the moment comes, right? So it is being generated moment to moment. However, the way the universe or the reality, whatever you call it, the way it operates it is that it purges the past. So for example, you just became a second older. You don't just get old on your birthdays. You don't get 1 year old on your birthday.
True.
You are getting old every second. You are getting a second older every second, right? So what happened to the body that existed a second ago? Where's the snapshot or the data of that, right? Or this building that we're in, where this studio is located, it deteriorated at the molecular, at atomic level, a second, right? And if you come to this building, like let's say 1,000 years later, this building might have been like really deteriorated, right?
With time.
With time, it will be withered. But it doesn't wither after 1,000 years suddenly. It withers every second,
True.
right?
True.
So when Einstein said that change is constant,
Yes.
this is what he meant. That reality is changing every second, right? Like even outside, in the outside world, cars are driving, right? Planes are flying, changing the position. Planets are changing the position every second. So even the reality is generative in nature. However, what the mathematics tells us is that you can model the reality. You know, there are different differential equations, quadratic equations that can actually model the behavior of the universe. We have found some of those equations, some of the mathematical modeling, not all of that yet, right? But AI is actually truly able to find almost all the models, all the mathematical models, all the equations that we have not been able to find. And then what it can do is it can do a very, very accurate approximation on what will happen the next second. So, and then if you know the future, then actually you can be prepared for the future very, very well, right? Like Buddha said one thing, that you can only prepare for the future in the present moment. You can't prepare for the future in the future. So you cannot prepare for your own, like let's say life, for next year, starting next year. You'll have to start preparing it for now,
Right.
So just like that, like how do we prepare for what will happen next second? We have to prepare it this second, because this second is the time when we have the best data of high level that can impact the next second. So anyways, it actually, there are a lot of concepts that is tied into whatever I'm just speaking. Like another concept from quantum physics that comes here is quantum retrocausality.
That is.
So quantum retrocausality says that your future can affect your past. Whatever you do in your future can impact your past.
How?
Because there is something called quantum backflow. So it actually causes the ripple in, like whatever your actions that you're performing in past causes a quantum ripple that actually causes the ripple back in time, and then it changes the data on what happened in the past. So what quantum retrocausality is saying is that your past can be changed, you know. Wow. Because so far we have been taught, because classical physics or Newtonian physics, what it teaches you is that your past is fixed, your future is non-deterministic,
Yes.
right? But your past is deterministic because it already happened. But what quantum physics is saying is that even your past is non-deterministic, because you can actually cause ripples by performing some actions in the future that can change your past,
Or
that
even
can
in the
edit
present.
the data. Yeah, or even in the present.
Crazy.
Right? So combining these things, right, and being able to predict the future, and then, so again, like we're talking about preparing for the future, right? So I think we could best prepare our education system, transportation system, law, governance, health systems, right? Government services that we're providing to citizens, right? If we actually have like really, really, really good control and visibility into the data of our current systems, so that we can make a very correct approximation on what's going to happen the next second and how do we prepare for it. But then the reason I'm talking about the next second, because I want to use a second as a unit chunk of time. So like, let's say, how do we prepare for the next year, right? That's a bunch of seconds, right? So it can actually, so technologies like ASI can actually perfectly prepare for what will happen next year. It will actually know that, oh, because of these and these causes, because the way the world operates is cause and effect, right?
Right.
Like you push a switch and then light turns on, right?
True.
Cause and then effect, right? You pollute the earth so much, you create so many manufacturing plants around your city, it deteriorates your air quality, what is happening in Delhi right now.
Right.
So, but today we're all scrambling in Delhi that, oh, air quality is so bad, and government is trying to, like, government is spending a lot of money in fixing air quality.
Right.
Kathmandu, Nepal, which is my hometown, is the same problem, and we just received, I think, around $50 million from World Bank to solve air quality issue, right? I think Indian government is spending hundreds of millions of dollars,
Right.
if not billions of dollars, to fix the air quality issue over here. But we're trying to fix it right now, right? Had we started fixing it like 20 years ago, we'd not have this scenario today,
Right.
right? But we didn't have the data. We didn't know 20 years ago that 20 years later, we didn't know in 2006 that in 2026, the AQI of New Delhi will look like this. And that's why we did what we did, right? So things like ASI can actually run the systems that we operate
its
on. Much better than how we have been operating, because it can actually make approximation. It can do the calculation that, okay, this many factories around New Delhi or NCR area will cause this many PM 2.5 concentration in air, and because of that, the AQI will be this much, right? So, and one example of predicting the future today that we can see is weather, right? Like, how do we get like such an accurate weather predictions, right? It's when it says it's going to rain in 1 hour, it really rains in 1 hour, right? Because we have been able to collect the data, and then we have been able to model like how the wind models, like where the precipitation gathers and where it is going to be raining. We have the satellite data that actually tracking like the whole atmosphere live, right? So that is one example of predicting the future. But we have not been predicting the future in everything, right? That is a very, very minute example. And the reason we are not able to, because we don't have that kind of data, right? Which can be collected.
But even
right?
that is possible if ASI comes into human system.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Then it has the data system and it has the compute capacity to process all of that data. And then it has the new mathematical models that gives a very, very accurate approximation on what will happen 20 years later. And then it can also help humanity change the course of action, right? Like maybe we should not be building that many factories with the choice of our energy that we're powering these factories with, right? So, because what is more important? Is it more important to breathe well, or is it more important for some billionaires to add a couple more $1 billion to their bank account?
True.
Right? Maybe it's more important for millions of people that live in this city to breathe better, because breathing is it's the most basic need that any organism has, right?
I completely agree with you on that. And Ujjwal bhai, you are an AI scientist, right? And मुझे लगता है कि आपसे बेहतर कुछ चीज़ें हैं वो और लोग नहीं समझ सकते. There are a lot of people who are working in the AI thing, right? But अभी इस टाइम पे, क्योंकि AI इतनी तेजी से ट्रांसफॉर्म हो रहा है, बदल रहा है, कि कल सुबह का किसी को नहीं पता कि कौन सा AI मॉडल विल बी कॉल्ड द टॉप AI मॉडल. बिकॉज हमने चैट जीपीटी को, ओपन AI को इतना रैपिडली ग्रो होते हुए देखा है, फ्रॉम just answering your basic questions to generating images that were too realistic, and then generating videos who were far more better than what are being filmed, right? मतलब हम रियल लाइफ में एक मूवी बना रहे हैं जो कि ह्यूमंस को फिल्म करके बन रही हैं. ऑन द अदर हैंड, AI is able and capable of making a video without even filming something. मतलब वो सिर्फ अपनी इमेजिनेशन से, अपनी लर्निंग से ह्यूमन कैरेक्टर्स बना रहा है और सब कुछ रेप्लिकेट कर रहा है. राइट नाउ इफ आई से व्हाट आर द टॉप 5 AI मॉडल्स इन द वर्ल्ड एंड व्हाट ईच ऑफ दैट इज बेस्ट एट. जैसे हम चैट जीपीटी की बात करते हैं, जेमिनाई की बात करते हैं, क्लॉड की बात करते हैं, ग्रॉक की बात करते हैं, डीप सीक, so many of them. Which of the 5 are the best in the world right now? And what are their actual capabilities? Actual से मेरा मतलब है वो नहीं जो इंसान देख रहा है, वो नहीं जिसके बारे में बात हो रही है. एक्चुअल कैपेबिलिटी जो आपको पता है एज अ AI साइंटिस्ट, जो कि लोगों को हो सकता है कभी अंदाजा भी ना हो कि वो कितने पावरफुल है एक्चुअल में.
तो टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन आई वुड लाइक टू गिव अ डिस्क्लेमर कि this answer does not involve any AI model paying me to answer this. The other thing is that it's my own opinion. मुझे लगता है Opus 4.6 by Claude, it is by far the best model of today. Because it has really strong reasoning model, and they have utilized their context window very well. So for people that does not understand what context window is, तो जैसे हमारे मतलब एक मेमोरी रहता है, शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी, जहाँ पे हम मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर करते हैं. कंप्यूटर सिस्टम्स में DRAM रहता है, फ्लैश मेमोरी, जहाँ पे इंफॉर्मेशन, जहाँ का इंफॉर्मेशन यूज़ करके प्रोसेसर हमको इंफॉर्मेशन और लाइक प्रोसेस्ड इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं. वैसे ही AI में कॉन्टेक्स्ट विंडो जिसका जितना बड़ा हो उतना अच्छा आंसर दे पाते हैं, बिकॉज इट कैन एक्चुअली टेक इन दैट मेनी कॉन्टेक्स्ट्स. So like we talk about like 4 billion parameters and a million context window, right? So matlab it can actually take millions, 1 million things in its context, right? And then give you an answer every time it is giving you an answer. But with Opus 4.6, what I'm saying is that even if your context window is the same as your competitor, how you utilize that context window, and like, so they have applied even like algorithms to sort out the context window. So they have put in AI in managing the context window. So context window is a small part of AI, right? Or an important part of AI. But now context window is being run by AI in Opus 4.6. So that's a very clever thing to do. And the model has by far become the best model. And then when Opus 4.6 model got released, it actually shook $100 trillion global economy, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so that was, I mean, it actually,
the Claude workspace, right?
Yeah, Claude workspace.
Yes.
But the main engine behind Claude workspace was Opus 4.6 model. So when the Wall Street analysts, when they saw Opus 4.6, they got kind of scared, because it started showing like kind of like AGI capabilities, just because of better context window management. And then GPT 5.4 after that, it's very good. So one difference between Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6 and OpenAI's GPT 5.4, which are both are the flagship and leading models from both of these top 2 companies, is that I feel like Anthropic has a soul, you know, and I feel like OpenAI is it's like soulless.
दिस इज स्कैरी ओके. हम जब सोल की बात करते हैं ना, वी टॉक अबाउट थिंग्स विच आर ह्यूमन, राइट?
Right.
एंड व्हेन यू से कि एक एआई मॉडल है, राइट, जो कि बहुत अच्छा है, इस दुनिया में सबसे अच्छा है, एंड इट हैज अ सोल, दैट scares the shit out of me. I'm being very honest here. मतलब if a non-living thing has a soul, right, that's actually very dangerous if it goes into the wrong hands.
Oh yeah, yeah. However, it's not the soul that we human possess. It's a computational soul.
Still.
But it feels like it had something. It knows you very
Yeah.
well, and ये जब answer भी जो देता है, तो it puts like humanity and all of that in picture.
Emotions.
It has emotions, and so it feels like feelings, emotions are already programmed into it. तो उस तरीके से बात करता है. और इसके बाद what we are looking for, us humans, what are we looking for, right? We're just looking for what is the best possible direction, right, to go most of the time. Whether it's answering the email, you want your AI to write the email, right? In that also you're asking what is the best possible way to write this email or like to move forward with this conversation, right? और sometimes बहुत सारे लोग भी AI यूज़ कर रहे हैं to make their life decision, right? मतलब one scary thing that Sam Altman was talking about is how many people in the world have been talking about suicide thoughts with ChatGPT,
A lot.
and they are on the verge of like suiciding, and ChatGPT is trying to stop them. That wait, think about this and then that and this, right? So, and then people are having breakups, they're heartbroken, and then they are talking to AI. That yeah, my like so and so just like left me alone, and
Yeah.
I'm feeling like lost. What should I do? Things like that, and it's giving the remediation, right? So just like that, I mean, people are also using it to like write essays and things like that. That represents them. So like, let's say if you are writing an essay on any topic, like let's say AI development or rise of AI in India, right? It should actually represent you. It should not just write a mathematic, like whatever mathematics is saying, right?
True.
Because even though AI is writing it, you are the one who is prompting it. So it should know. It should actually understand your tone and things like that. So on that, I think Opus 4.6 is better. ChatGPT tries to be more accurate, but human beings, yes, they do care about accuracy, but that's not their top uh, uh, factor of like whenever they're thinking about quality in some answer, you know, because human beings are much more complex than just like mathematical accuracy.
True.
Right? We do care about many different aspects, right? Like we care about thousands of aspects at the same time, right? So maybe some model might be a little bit less mathematically accurate. However, it could actually be highly ethical, right? And again, by mathematical accurate or inaccurate, I don't mean like mathematical calculus. Like inaccuracies in mathematical calculations is a no-go. I'm talking about whatever answers we're getting, even an essay, some mathematics is performed to come up. It's a pure math, right? So we would rather be a little bit less correct, however, more humanitarian. So we could compromise on that sharp correctedness. For example, like what kind of person would we like to run our country or to run our city or state or society, right? We don't want a genius who could also be evil. He has no ethics in him or her, or they have no humanity in them. But they are a pure genius. They are going to take our economy to double or triple next year, let's say. We don't want those people if they have no humanity, right? We want people, yes, who will develop our economy, make our lives better, but at the same time, keep humanity at the center and keep the citizens' needs, not just physical needs, but also emotional needs at the center. So not just supply them electricity and like fast internet, but also humans want to make sure that they are coming from sustainable sources, they are coming from ethical sources, no other people were harmed in that, right? So people do care about all of that. So that's what I was talking about. Like when I said that it feels like Anthropic's Opus 4.6 feels like it has a soul to it, because it looks like it's a system that is designed around humans, whereas ChatGPT's or OpenAI systems looks like it's designed to be more and more accurate, right? When it comes to Gemini models by Google, these models are better at performing tasks, right? So like it's integrated with Nano Banana 2
Yes.
that just came out a
Yes.
couple weeks ago. So it's much better than other models when it comes to for image generation or video generation, right? Google owning its own Google Cloud, it helps. It actually thinks fast, right? Even its deep think mode is faster than others' deep think modes. When it comes to Grok, it just looks like Grok is trained on Twitter data, right? And it has a really, really, really good understanding on what
Of the Twitter data.
Yeah, Twitter data. And,
Yeah.
and what is Twitter data? Twitter data is like humans' data, right?
Yes.
What do human beings
Yes.
care about? Because people are tweeting all the time, other people are replying, like conversations are happening. I almost never tweet on Twitter, but I go to Twitter every day just to check what are the trending topics, and then I do check comments every day on what are the humans saying, right, about that particular
Right.
topic. So it has like really good understanding of the topics that humans care about and what is relevant, and it tries to stay relevant because it is connected to the real-time Twitter data.
I'll
that
say Grok is more of a geopolitically prepared
yes, yes,
AI model, क्योंकि आप किसी भी AI मॉडल से जियोपॉलिटिक्स की बात करोगे तो it will definitely give you a very generic answer. But Grok actually crawls through all the tweets that are happening throughout the world
In
मतलब
real time.
in real time.
Yeah.
और वो देख रहा है कि कौन प्राइम मिनिस्टर क्या बोल रहा है, कौन सा डिफेंस मिनिस्टर क्या बोल रहा है, कौन सी गवर्नमेंट किस चीज के बारे में बात कर रही है, एंड वो उस सारी चीजों को एनालाइज करता है. देन इट ऑल्सो एनालाइजेस रिपोर्ट्स कमिंग आउट फ्रॉम न्यूज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स, राइट, कि कौन सा न्यूज चैनल क्या बोल रहा है और कौन सा कंटेंट ऑथेंटिक है, वो उसको भी आइडेंटिफाई करने में बहुत ज्यादा शार्प है. तो आई से ग्रॉक एज अ प्लेटफॉर्म एक्ट्स इन अ डिफरेंट वे. बट आपने अभी एक बात बोली दैट एंट्रोपिक का जो टूल है, राइट, क्लॉड, एंड जैसे ही क्लॉड कोवर्क आया उसने मार्केट में बहुत बड़ा डिसरप्शन क्रिएट कर दिया. एज एंट्रोपिक ऑलवेज सेज दैट वी आर प्योरली इनटू द एथिकल साइड ऑफ एआई, बट मेरे हिसाब से even if it is very ethical, it was not human. Reason being, $trillion market crash after just an AI model or a tool, as the normal human says, enters the market. मार्केट क्रैश कर जाती है, बहुत सारे लोगों की नौकरियां खतरे में आ जाती हैं, बहुत सारे लोग कहीं ना कहीं परेशान हैं, बिकॉज अ प्लेटफॉर्म दैट सेज वी आर डूइंग थिंग्स, वी आर ब्रिंगिंग AI in the ethical way, but because of which a lot of jobs are going off the market, and not just for today but for the coming future also. I really want to understand कि future में कौन से ऐसे careers हैं which are most at risk because of AI, number one. And in the next few years, अगर हम careers की बात करें, especially when it comes to AI, तो कौन से ऐसे careers हैं which will be booming, जो कि fast grow करेंगे in the AI industry?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And इसके लिए I would like to speak the truth, and it might sound harsh, but 100% of the white collar jobs will be replaced. 100%.
You're trying to say the doctors, the lawyers, the...
Yeah, mostly knowledge workers, you know. So
Even the doctors?
like people who are doctors will be replaced too, like guaranteed they will be replaced, but that will come a little bit later because they literally operate on the human body and human touch and all of those things are required. I think doctors will still exist, but less amount of doctors than what we see. Like one doctor can work on many more
सर्जरीज AI
patients.
के थ्रू हो रही हैं आजकल.
Yeah. And surgeries like systems like Da Vinci system that has already performed a number of open heart surgery with zero failure rate, 100% success rate so far. Human doctors we don't have the same like data for human doctors, right? Like human doctors do make mistakes, and also the reason they do make mistakes is not like lack of knowledge or something. These open heart surgeries, these are like really complex surgeries, because you are sometimes operating on a very tiny artery or vein.
True.
And our eyes are not microscopic, right? Our eyes are not designed to work with, because our eyes are, or our like body, the whole the setup that us humans have got is designed to interact with the macro world. You lift an object that you can lift, right? The weight limit that you can lift, you lift it, put it on another place. But we can't operate at the molecular level, right? We cannot see the red blood cells in the in the blood, right? We cannot see like really tiny arterioles or very tiny arteries, right? And the precision of the human hands, right? It's not so precise that there are like two arteries that has a millimeter gap that you cut the wrong artery, right? Because our resolution is actually designed at a scale that helps us survive this physical world, right? We're not designed to actually perform surgeries that requires microscopic vision capabilities, right? Our hands, right, the way it operates is that, yeah, some doctors that might have like, or some surgeons that might have a really stable hand, they can perform surgery with a very high success rate. But in general, humans are not designed to cut those veins or arteries that are so small, right? We don't have the entire knowledge of every vein or every artery. Yeah, some doctors, they have really good memory, they have memorized a lot of things, but still you forget, right? The way our memory works.
But the machine will not forget.
Yeah, the machine will never forget. So human beings were actually never designed to perform open heart surgery, right? But when it comes to AI, they are actually designed for that. So that's why Da Vinci system has 100% success rate, and human beings does not have 100% success rate.
और कौन सी jobs खतरे में हैं?
तो हाँ, तो 100% white collar job, including doctors, lawyers का भी वैसा ही है, क्योंकि you cannot have the data, or you cannot process the data in real time of, like, let's say India's constitution, all the law in different jurisdictions. There are different kinds of laws that applies to different practices, right? There's a business law, there's a civic law, there is, like, in healthcare there is a law, right? In accounting, so there is a law built for everything, right? And then there is a country's constitution, then there are like different jurisdictions, state laws, right? So but an AI can actually process all of this information in real time in the given moment, right? And the kind of loopholes that it can find, a human cannot find. And we actually had a similar example that actually happened in real time that I would like to talk about. So one of our partners in one of our companies, he recently did a sale of one of his old business that was not performing very well. And he used 3 lawyers to perform that sale. And then in that, what he intended to sell was just the assets, current assets and things like that. And in his business, in some of the paperwork that was buried, like there were like hundreds of thousands of like pages worth of files that were involved in this transaction. And somewhere it was written that he's supposed to receive $4.5 million from so and so customer that he has not received yet. and the owner of the business had no clue that he's about to receive this money. Okay, and he hired 3 lawyers to go through everything. They all missed it, and the guy who bought it, he found it out like a year later when his lawyers were going over it. He was like, oh, there's a $4.5 million account payable that we're supposed to receive, but the business just got sold for less value than that, right, for the assets. And then he actually called my partner and said that, hey, I don't think you intended for this, but looks like we're going to receive this money. But now legally it's ours, we're just going to take it. And then my partner was like, no, how the hell can you do it? It was a mistake, we missed it. And then he was like shouting at his lawyers that how come you missed it, right? And then he was like, Ujjwal, ever since then, I don't trust my lawyers, even though, I mean, the law requires him to hire lawyers sometimes, or sometimes just the paperwork, like there needs to be a lawyer's signature. He does not trust lawyers anymore. He puts everything through some AI model to make sure that anything that is hidden in there will stand out in front of him.
Even we do the same, right? मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर कोई इंसान AI नहीं यूज कर रहा और उसको नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि AI आने वाले टाइम में कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाला है, तो उसको अभी ये पॉडकास्ट देखते देखते समझ लाना चाहिए इस बात को कि दैट इज द फ्यूचर. इफ नॉट फॉर समथिंग एल्स बट फॉर सम अदर थिंग यू हैव टू लर्न हाउ टू यूज AI. और यहाँ से एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल आता है कि टॉप AI स्किल्स और कोर्सेज कौन से हैं दैट यू विल रिकमेंड इन 2026 कि अभी people should go and do those courses free or paid.
Yeah, so if you just want like vocational skill, right, and like certification programs, I think prompt engineering 101, right, people should become a prompt engineer if they want to take advantage of AI, because when it comes to AI, your output is actually impacted by your input, right? So the deeper, the more enhanced and the more comprehensive your input is, the better the quality of your output is, of course, and also the better alignment of your output along with your desire of that output, right? So prompting, like, but not just general prompting, like doing prompt engineering. And every company in the world, just like when the internet revolution happened, every company in the world needed a website or a web guy, right, a web designer.
Yeah.
Now every company in the world needs at least one prompt engineer, at least one.
Yeah, what exactly is prompt engineering, or is it actually really a very high income skill?
Right now it is. So the way the income or the pay, the amount of pay is decided is supply and demand. So like, let's say the industry requires a lot more prompt engineers than what is available to them, then they would like to pay the top dollar because they cannot stop the work, right? The work needs to happen. So right now that is the scenario. Prompt engineers are getting paid the top dollar because there is not enough prompt engineer.
नहीं, but ये exactly होता क्या है?
अच्छा, तो how we have been building software, अभी तक हम सॉफ्टवेयर कैसे बनाते थे?
Code.
हम सारे चीज़ कोड करते थे, ठीक है? मतलब कोई भी फंक्शन जो हम दे रहे हैं, कोई फीचर दे रहे हैं अपने क्लाइंट्स को, कस्टमर को, और सॉफ्टवेयर में कोई भी फीचर और फंक्शन है वो हमको कोड करना पड़ता था, ठीक है? अब SaaS प्रोडक्ट्स और सॉफ्टवेयर अब कैसे बनता है? बहुत सारे काम जो हैवी लिफ्टिंग जो है ना, ये अंडरलाइंग मॉडल्स करते हैं, ठीक है? तो ओपस 4.6 और GPT 5.4, जेमिनाई प्रो, these guys are actually performing most of the heavy lifting. और हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि this startup is just an OpenAI wrapper or this startup is just an Anthropic wrapper. तो this is the era of wrappers, okay? And the way you build that wrapper is by embedding a lot of different prompts, system prompt, contextual prompt, वो सब कोड में embedded रहता है. कोड बहुत स्मॉल रहता है, लेकिन prompt engineering उसका बहुत deep रहता है. And the more complex and deeper your prompt engineering, the better and more featureful and more accurate your SaaS product or your software will be. So इसके लिए prompt engineers are required to build that software product.
Wow. And what exactly is RAG? क्योंकि आजकल बहुत लोग RAG के बारे में भी बात कर रहे हैं.
RAG, yeah. हाँ, तो RAG is just like every company or every organization has a lot of historical data put in somewhere, like maybe in a Google Drive, SharePoint Drive, or on a hard drive, computers. RAG is it's called retrieval augmentation generation. ठीक है? So what it does is it retrieves the data from wherever your data lies, right? On a computer, hard drive, or a Google Drive, or box folder, SharePoint Drive, and then it augments it, and then it is able to generate answer from that. Okay, so like let's say your company, Misfit organization, has 1 million files, right? And you want one answer that requires the AI to go through 1200 files out of 1 million file, and then get some sentences here and there from different files and come up with the answer. It can do it in a split second. So that is the RAG. So you just connect an AI to your file system, is able to scan it in real time, and then it is able to give you answers based on your document. So it's your private AI that other people do not have access to it.
And what is a multimodal AI?
Multimodal AI is where it can work with different kind of data types, and it has different generation outputs. So for example, it can understand text, it can understand images, it can understand audio, videos as input, but also able to process all of those and provide all of these different kinds of outputs at the same time.
Ujjwal, if I ask you, भाई अगर एक इंसान एक बिगिनर है, राइट, और उसको समझना है कि यार उसको अपने काम के लिए कौन सा एआई टूल यूज करना है, ठीक है, तो कौन सा टूल इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए और किस टास्क के लिए किस तरीके का टूल यूज करना चाहिए? क्योंकि जितना मुझे नॉलेज, जैसे हम देखते हैं ना कि यार इफ यू वांट टू क्रिएट अ वर्क फ्लो, क्लाउड इज वेरी गुड, राइट? इफ यू वांट टू ऑर्गेनाइज थिंग्स इन अ पर्टिकुलर मैनर, अगेन क्लाउड इज वेरी गुड. इफ यू वांट टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस जो कि ह्यूमन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपको बहुत अच्छे से आंसर करे, चैट जीपीटी इज अ गुड ऑप्शन. बट एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस, कौन सा टूल बिगिनर्स को यूज करना चाहिए और किस काम के लिए करना चाहिए?
हाँ, तो अगर आप बिगिनर हो तो ऐसा होता है, ये जो AI मॉडल्स है, जैसे चैट जीपीटी है, क्लाउड है, जेमिनाई, ये सब दे आर गुड एट डिफरेंट थिंग्स एट डिफरेंट टाइम्स. कभी जेमिनाई किस चीज़ के लिए अच्छा हो जाता है, और बाद में अ मंथ लेटर क्लाउड बिकम्स बेटर एट द सेम टास्क, राइट? एवोल्यूशन. तो हाँ, तो ये मतलब चेंज होता रहता है. तो फॉर बिगिनर्स आई वुड रिकमेंड देम टू यूज स्केलोवा AI, क्योंकि स्केलोवा में क्या है, सारे फ्रंटियर मॉडल्स ऑलरेडी कनेक्टेड हैं. वाह. एंड इट पिक्स, ये सिर्फ आपको ये पूछता है कि आपको करना क्या है. आपको डॉक्यूमेंट बनाना है, कि पिक्चर बनाना है, ग्राफिक डिज़ाइन, कि कोई सोशल मीडिया कंटेंट, वीडियो क्रिएशन करना है, राइट? तो आपसे सिर्फ वो इन्फॉर्मेशन लेता है, और उसके बाद ये टूल कॉलिंग भी ये अपने आप ही करता है. अच्छा. तो ये मतलब राइट मॉडल यूज़ करता है उसके लिए, और हाईएस्ट क्वालिटी में आउटपुट देता है. वाह. और दूसरे भी है, अगर आपको कंटेंट जनरेशन करना है तो आप कॉपी AI में जा सकते हो, और कॉपी AI इज़ एक्चुअली गुड फॉर दैट. अगर लार्ज फॉर्म वीडियोस बनाने हैं तो हिग्सफील्ड AI अभी आया है, जो मतलब इट कैन क्रिएट हॉलीवुड क्वालिटी CGI.
लॉन्ग फॉर्म वीडियोस के लिए.
लॉन्ग फॉर्म वीडियोस के लिए. और शॉर्ट फॉर्म वीडियोस के लिए तो जेमिनाई और सोरा 2. अगर चीपर मॉडल्स देखने हैं तो चाइनीज़ मॉडल्स है, जैसे हानुयान मॉडल है, और सी ड्रीम, ऐसे मॉडल्स है. अगर मतलब ऐसे लिखना है, राइट, तो अगर चीपर लार्ज क्वांटिटी में ऐसे लिखना है तो डीप सीक मॉडल भी अच्छा है. तो डिफरेंट मॉडल्स है, लेकिन अगर स्केलोवा जैसे प्रोडक्ट्स आप यूज़ करो तो इसमें राइट मॉडल खुद ही सेलेक्ट हो जाता है, और उसके बाद आपको मतलब मॉडल सिलेक्शन नहीं करना पड़ता है. तो आपका क्वेश्चन था बिगिनर के लिए, तो फॉर बिगिनर्स स्केलोवा इज़ द राइट प्रोडक्ट.
व्हाट आर द मोस्ट कॉमन मिस्टेक्स जो लोग करते हैं व्हाइल यूजिंग एन AI टूल?
लोग प्रॉम्प्ट अच्छे से नहीं करते हैं, और वो लोग मतलब एक सर्टेन आउटपुट तो डिज़ायर करते हैं, राइट? अगर 5 लोग एक ही क्वेश्चन पूछे तो उनका 5 लोगों का डिज़ायर्ड आउटपुट फ़र्क रहता है अकॉर्डिंग टू देम, क्योंकि उनका इंडिविजुअलिज्म उसमें रहता है. तो वो लोग इंडिविजुअलिज्म अपना इनपुट में नहीं रखते हैं कि मैं कौन हूँ
वाओ
और मुझे क्या चाहिए मुझे एग्जैक्ट. तो AI इज स्टिल इट्स I would say it's a non-living dumb system even though it's intelligence,
Yeah.
right? इसको नहीं पता होता है कि आपको चाहिए क्या, right?
Hmm.
कुछ हद तक अभी का जो रीजनिंग मॉडल्स है वो रीजनिंग करके पता लगा लेते हैं कि हाँ इसको ये चाहिए होगा ये बोल रहा होगा
Based
वो
on your
approximation कर
data
लेते
that
हैं.
you've already given to the AI.
हाँ हाँ. लेकिन अगर आपको फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपको एक मार्केटिंग कॉपी लिखना है, ठीक है, सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट के लिए, तो आप बोलोगे कि राइट मी अ मार्केटिंग कॉपी फॉर माय सोशल मीडिया टू से हैप्पी दिवाली फॉर एग्जांपल टू माय ऑल माय क्लाइंट्स एंड माय फॉलोअर्स, तो आपको दे देगा. लेकिन अगर आप इसको बोलोगे कि act as if you are the senior marketing manager of so and so company, and then these are my audience, this is the kind of the audience I have, or this is our company's philosophy, तो सारे चीज़ दे के इनपुट दे के और तब आप उसको बोलोगे कि राइट अ सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट टू से हैप्पी दिवाली, द आउटपुट विल बी मच डिफरेंट एंड मच बेटर क्वालिटी.
I really want to understand how can a beginner start earning money in the next 20-30 days using AI?
फुली ऑटोमेटेड सिस्टम्स, दैट्स अ कॉन्सेप्ट, ठीक है, और जीरो ह्यूमन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, ठीक है. तो टुडे यू कैन बिल्ड अ प्रोडक्ट यूजिंग सिस्टम्स लाइक क्लाउड कोवर्क और स्केलोवा, राइट, और उसको मार्केटिंग भी करना है. तो मार्केटिंग के लिए यू कैन यूज़ AI जनरेटेड avatars or like influencers that actually does marketing of your product सोशल मीडिया में. क्योंकि कस्टमर्स कहाँ हैं, कस्टमर्स तो दे आर इंगेज्ड ऑन सोशल मीडिया, तो आपको वहाँ पे जाके कस्टमर से मिलना होगा, बात करना होगा, राइट. तो आप मतलब सिस्टम्स लाइक N8N और क्लाउड कोवर्क ऐसे टाइप के सिस्टम्स यूज़ करके आप ऐसा ऑटोमेशन क्रिएट कर सकते हो जहाँ पे इन्फ्लुएंसर रोज़ AI इन्फ्लुएंसर रोज़ आपके प्रोडक्ट के बारे में बात कर रहा है और इंगेजिंग कंटेंट बना रहा है. और वो क्या करेगा, मतलब लोगों को जाके आपके बारे में एक्सप्लेन करके आपको आपका लैंडिंग पेज में लेके आएगा और वहाँ पे व्हाट एवर प्रोडक्ट यू आर सेलिंग यू कैन स्टार्ट सेलिंग. फॉर बिगिनर्स आई वुड रिकमेंड स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग डिजिटल प्रोडक्ट्स फर्स्ट, राइट, लाइक स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग एप्स, right, and put some subscription model on the app, like charge them $2 $3 per month, right, and then target a niche, right. So for example, if I was building an app today and trying to launch it in the market, I would build an app that teaches people quantum physics, teaches normal people quantum physics, and उसको मार्केट करने के लिए मैं 10 सोशल मीडिया चैनल्स क्रिएट करूँगा सारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे, टिकटॉक, इंस्टाग्राम, लिंक्डइन, ट्विटर, फेसबुक, पिंटरेस्ट और जितने भी और हो प्लेटफॉर्म एक्स, और उस सारे में कंटेंट क्रिएशन ऑटोमेट कर सकते हैं, राइट. तो ऑटोमेशन से कंटेंट रोज़ आ रहा है, बहुत वैल्यूएबल कंटेंट, लाइक छोटे छोटे शॉर्ट फॉर्म वीडियोज़ दैट इज टीचिंग सम स्मॉल कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ क्वांटम फिजिक्स, राइट. एंड लोग वहाँ से आने लगेंगे, पेज को फॉलो करने लगेंगे और पेज से हम एक URL रख के बायो में और उनको रिडायरेक्ट कर सकते हैं ऐप में, और ऐप से हम मतलब इन ऐप परचेजेस रख के सब्सक्रिप्शन फी रख के पैसा कमा सकते हैं. तो दैट इज़ हाउ यू कैन बिल्ड अ जीरो ह्यूमन फुल्ली ऑटोमेटेड बिजनेस टुडे एज अ बिगिनर.
Yeah, what are those real examples that you have seen in the last 10-15 years you are in the AI business and you've been learning AI, जहाँ पे small businesses ने actual में AI की मदद से अपना cost reduce किया हो और profit को increase किया हो? क्योंकि you know हम लोग बार बार वही बात बोल रहे हैं कि AI is significantly improving business efficiency. Can we talk about it with an example?
या श्योर. सो अभी हम कोई भी US का टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनी हम देख सकते हैं, जैसे अमेजन हुआ, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, मेटा ही. वी आर हियरिंग कि देर आर लॉट ऑफ लाइक AI ड्रिवन ले ऑफ्स, राइट. दिस कंपनीज आर सेइंग वी डोंट नीड इनफ like as many people as we needed before, because AI is actually automating a lot of our workflow, right? Which in past we needed people for. तो efficiency तो हम already देख रहे हैं, right? और हम earlier RAG के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, RAG, right? तो पहले finding the information and then using the information appropriately also used to take a lot of our employees' time, or like people who are our staff's time. That is now immediate because it can search through millions of files and find the most relevant information and steps by combining thousands of files and then give it to the people. So already we are having those kinds of efficiencies in finding the right information to apply it in the right place. And then other things is that just automating the processes that a team was doing in the past. So like 20, 30 people, they were coming together in an office and doing a certain workflow. They were performing a certain workflow in a department that can be fully automated. So efficiency we're already seeing in so many areas. And then we have been talking about the language models, but the other model is also vision models, right? Where an AI can literally see what's in front of it through a camera, a standard CCTV camera or surveillance security camera, and it can understand what is going on and be able to notify to people. So for that also we used to place people in different places to like watch and surveil, जो अभी मतलब automation हो गया है.
अगर मैं कंटेंट स्टैक्स की बात करूं, यानी टूल स्टैक्स की बात करूं, स्पेशली व्हेन इट कम्स टू कंटेंट वर्क, राइट? स्पेशली कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स, पॉडकास्टर्स, इन्फ्लुएंसर्स एंड एजुकेटर्स हु आर वर्किंग ऑनलाइन, तो किस तरीके के एआई स्टैक्स उनके पास होने चाहिए?
हाँ, मुझे लगता है सारे लीडिंग एआई मॉडल्स होने चाहिए, जैसे एंथ्रोपिक, राइट, ओपन एआई, ग्रॉक भी होना चाहिए, परप्लेक्सिटी, स्केलोवा, ऑल ऑफ दीज टूल्स दे नीड टू हैव विद देम. और कभी कभी कंटेंट को क्रॉस रेफरेंस भी करना पड़ता है.
उसके लिए कौन सा टूल बेस्ट है?
स्केलोवा इज बेस्ट फॉर क्रॉस रेफरेंसिंग क्योंकि ऑल द मॉडल्स आर ऑलरेडी कनेक्टेड टू इट, राइट? बट आप मैनुअली भी कर सकते हो. आप चैट जीपीटी का आउटपुट और क्लॉड का आउटपुट आप कंपेयर कर सकते हो, और चैट जीपीटी का आउटपुट निकाल के आप क्लॉड को दे सकते हो उसको रिफाइन करने के लिए, और ज़्यादा रिफाइन करने के लिए. और प्रॉम्प्टिंग में भी मुझे लगता है क्लॉड इज़ बेस्ट फॉर जनरेटिंग द प्रॉम्प्ट, क्योंकि कितने लोगों को प्रॉम्प्ट नहीं करना आता है. तो वो मतलब बहुत प्लेन कॉमन लैंग्वेज में वो बता सकता है कि मुझे ये सब चाहिए. तो अगर आप आउटपुट डिफाइन कर दोगे कि दिस इज़ द आउटपुट आई वांट टू अचीव, then Claude can generate the prompt that you can use on other tools like Scalova, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, all of that.
यार अगर मैं परफेक्ट वर्कफ्लो की बात करूं, और से एक इंसान को एक परफेक्ट वर्कफ्लो बनाना है, एंड ही हैज़ टू और शी हैज़ टू बी द बेस्ट एट व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, राइट? तो मैं कैसे मल्टीपल एआई मॉडल्स को एक साथ यूज करके अपने वर्कफ्लो को परफेक्ट बना सकता हूं, और कौन कौन से टूल्स इसमें इन्वॉल्व होने चाहिए? फॉर से इफ आई एम अ क्रिएटर, राइट, और मैं पॉडकास्ट बनाता हूं, ठीक है, मुझे बेस्ट टॉपिक्स चाहिए, बेस्ट इंसाइट्स चाहिए, आई जस्ट वांट टू हैव द बेस्ट स्टैक ऑफ टूल्स so that from research till the final product, right, I have the best insights to create the best content.
तो बेस्ट इंसाइट के लिए आपको इंटरनेट स्क्रैप करना पड़ेगा, रेडिट जैसे चैनल्स, राइट, और मेटा, लिंक्डइन, ये सब स्क्रैप करके आपको मतलब देखना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट इज़ रेलेवेंट, व्हाट पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, राइट. तो उसके लिए यू हैव टू हैव सम स्क्रैपर, नंबर वन.
ओके.
और फॉर एग्जांपल EP-5 जैसे टेक्नोलॉजीज है जो स्क्रैप करते हैं इंटरनेट को बाय सम टोकन सिस्टम्स, और उसको आपको फीड करना पड़ेगा इन सम फ्रंटियर मॉडल, राइट, जैसे स्केलोवा हो गया और क्लॉड हो गया, चैट जीपीटी, ऑल ऑफ दिस मॉडल्स. यू हैव टू फीड इट देयर, and then you have to connect it with whatever platforms you want to publish it at, right? अगर आपको बीच में मैनुअल रिव्यू स्टेप रखना है तो वो आपको ईमेल कर देगा और व्हाट्सएप कर देगा उस कंटेंट को, लिंक को। लेकिन अगर आपको मैनुअल रिव्यू भी बाईपास करके फुल ऑटोमेशन करना है तो इट कैन डू इट. सो इट्स नॉट अ वेरी वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स चेन. लाइक यू नीड अ स्क्रैपर that scrapes the internet, then you need a frontier large language model, and then you need places where you want to publish it to.
वाह, क्या दिस इज अ वेरी बिग क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, सब लोगों को लगता है कि यार हम एआई कर रहे हैं, एआई जनरेटेड कंटेंट बना रहे हैं, एआई से ही सारा कुछ एनालाइज करवा रहे हैं. बट इवन आफ्टर एआई इज द थिंग, गूगल इज स्टिल द बिगेस्ट, राइट? क्या एआई से बनाया हुआ कंटेंट गूगल पे रैंक करता है?
कर सकता है
इज यू नो लाइक इट्स वेरी अनश्योर.
हाँ, क्योंकि गूगल कैसे रैंक करता है, इट रैंक्स ऑन रेलेवेंस एंड ऑल्सो हाउ मेनी पीपल आर कोटिंग योर कंटेंट. तो अगर आपका कंटेंट बहुत सारे प्लेसेस में कोट हो रहे हैं, बहुत सारे ब्लॉग्स उसके बारे में लिख रहे हैं और सोशल मीडिया पे लोग बात कर रहे हैं उसके बारे में, तो उसका रेलेवेंस ऑल ऑफ अ सडन वो ऊपर चला जाता है. और एसईओ, सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन में it becomes one of the highly ranked content, right? तो आपका content का relevance कितना है? पहले मतलब Google और ये जो top platforms हैं, Meta, these people were thinking कि AI generated content should not get that much watch time or it should not get the same attention or weight as human generated content. But recently, all of the platforms decided that no, we should not decide whether the content was generated by an AI or a human. We should only see what is more relevant and how are humans rating it. So they are letting humans decide which content is good and which content is not good enough, right? तो अगर कोई AI generated ही content है जो बहुत सारे लोग देख रहे हैं, उससे interact कर रहे हैं, तो that content will get more reach on the social media platforms and on Google it will get a higher ranking.
यार एक और बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन है, बिकॉज a lot of people say that SEO is dead and AI is replacing SEO from the last few years, right? वहाँ पे बात आती है GEO की, that is Generative Engine Optimization, and then there is another thing that is there is AEO, right? अब बहुत बड़ा सवाल ये है कि मैं कंटेंट क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ एंड आई वांट माय कंटेंट टू बी लिस्टेड, राइट? अब एसईओ अगर खत्म हो गया एंड एईओ इज द न्यू थिंग, राइट? देन हाउ कैन समवन गेट साइटेड बाय द एआई सर्च इंजन?
Yeah, so अभी you're right, SEO is kind of dead. That is true. क्योंकि पहले जैसे सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन के लिए आपको चेकलिस्ट होता था कि आप ये कर लिए, वो कर लिए, मतलब 10 to 15 different tasks. If you completed, then you'd rank on the search engines. That is not true anymore, right? Because it has gone, the algorithms has gone from looking for those checklists to like relevance, like we talked about. और अभी ASO चल रहा है, AI सर्च ऑप्टिमाइजेशन, जहाँ पे क्योंकि people are not asking questions to Google anymore, they're asking questions to ChatGPT. So you want, or like any other model like ChatGPT, any other large language models. So you want large language models to actually talk about your product, or when they're asking some specific problem solution, then the AI should be presenting your solution as one of the solutions, right? So that people can click on the link and then go there. तो इसी के लिए AI search optimization is actually more important than traditional search engine optimization now.
सब लोगों को पता है कि SEO rigged हो सकता था क्योंकि लोग बैकलिंक्स बनवाते थे, बहुत कुछ करते थे, लाइक देयर सो मेनी थिंग्स ना, राइट? कितना कुछ ब्लैक हैट होता है. there's a lot of grey things in the market where you could get yourself ranked at the top. But क्या AI rigged हो सकता है? Is there a possibility that एक इंसान जिसने एक प्रोडक्ट बनाया वो AI पे रैंक कर सकता है, एंड हाउ?
हाँ, बिल्कुल हो सकता है.
कैसे?
क्योंकि AI जो हमको आउटपुट देता है वो उसको जो ट्रेन किया गया है, सिखाया गया है, वही से दिया जाता है। तो आपको आपके प्रोडक्ट के बारे में यू हैव टू ट्रेन द एआई, यू हैव टू टेल इट कि दिस इज़ व्हाट इज डज, दिस इज द प्रोडक्ट, और बहुत सारे ट्रेनिंग करने पड़ते हैं। तो उसके बाद एआई आपका प्रोडक्ट के बारे में बोलने लगता है।
वाओ।
या
एंड ये काम हम एआई एजेंट्स के थ्रू ही करवा सकते हैं,
करवा सकते हैं। हाँ, मतलब मैनुअली भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इट्स अ लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट। लेकिन इस काम को हम ऑटोमेट भी कर सकते हैं यूजिंग एआई।
वाओ।
तो हम एआई यूज करके एआई को ट्रेन कर सकते हैं अपने प्रोडक्ट के बारे में।
मतलब मैं एआई पे अपने प्रोडक्ट को प्रमोट करने के लिए एआई यूज कर रहा हूं, और एआई को ही मैं कमांड दे रहा हूं कि मेरे प्रोडक्ट को एआई मॉडल के थ्रू
प्रमोट करो।
That sounds crazy, but I think that's the same thing that humans were doing when we talk about SEO, right? SEO में हम लोग humans के थ्रू अपने प्रोडक्ट को प्रमोट करवाते थे, लिंक्स क्रिएट होते थे, लोगों की वेबसाइट से हम लोग बैक लिंक्स लेते थे. That's how things were working, right? I am not a pro expert of SEO, but I have a brief idea how things were happening back then. मतलब आज की डेट में अगर आपको अपने वेबसाइट को या अपने कंटेंट को रैंक करवाना है, तो उसके लिए आप खुद एक एआई मॉडल बनाओ, एजेंट्स लगाओ, और वो आपके लिए वेबसाइट्स भी बनाएगा और लिंक्स भी जनरेट करेगा.
करेक्ट.
वाओ. What will be the next big breakthrough in AI? Because there's a lot of buzz around about the Sweet Pea, right? That's an upcoming AI wearable device that is designed by Johnny Ive's team, right? Always on voice assistant connected to ChatGPT. Do you think AI wearable will change the way how we interact with technology and reduce the dependence on screens and smartphones?
Yes, definitely, and that is bound to happen. That is the next big thing, and we can see all the top tech companies are already jumping into it. In fact, we also have a product that we're launching around the end of this year called Pegasus.
Pegasus.
And that's a wearable AI. It looks just like this, that you wear it.
Okay.
And it has around 12-hour battery life. It has a microphone, a camera, a speaker, and it's live. It's listening to your day, and whatever you don't want it to listen, there's a button that you can turn off the microphone or the camera. But it's listening to your day. It's listening to all of your meetings. It has a mode. When you turn it on, it takes a picture every 5 minutes throughout your day, and then compiles it, and then gives you the highlights of your day. It summarizes all the meetings and then takes notes, gives you the highlights of those meetings also. And then it actually serves as a diary, so that you can actually ask it that, hey, what was I doing on this day 5 years ago? And it will tell you exactly. It also serves as a memory of people, because we might forget exactly what someone said to us, right? We might have creative recollection where we might say that, no, you didn't say this, even though they actually said that, and we might be wrong sometimes. So you can just ask AI that, did this person really say that? And it will say that yeah or no. So we are building Pegasus with the thought of giving humans a memory augmentation, where now their memory of what happened in their day, every day by day, actually gets uploaded to the cloud, right? And it is the infinite intelligence on demand, right? So you have ChatGPT level intelligence. It's just sitting next to you. It can talk to you, but also it can do the jobs of your assistant, right? Your office assistant. So for example, if I'm traveling, I can say that, hey, I'm going to Delhi from New York next week. Find me the best possible ticket in the business class, right?
Wow.
And then it can crawl the internet, find me the best. I can give it access to my credit card and also ask it to purchase the credit card. Purchase the ticket. I can ask it to check which stocks are the best to purchase, and then I can also ask it to purchase it for me, right, from the stock market. I can integrate like Uber Eats and things like that to it, and then ask it to order food for me, right? Ask it to order grocery. I can integrate like Amazon, or like order anything by integrating Amazon marketplaces. So wearables are the next big thing, and just like in the telecom boom, there was a cell phone in everybody's hand, right? In the internet and software boom, there was a smartphone, or iPhone is an internet phone, right? You can access the whole internet from your phone. That was in everybody's hand, right? Like not just iPhone, but Android and other smartphones too. Just like that, in the AI boom, everybody will have a smart wearable assistant that will perform a tremendous amount of tasks for them. It is knowledge on demand, and you don't have to rely on the screen all the time. And it is persistent memory, that it remembers
Wow.
exactly what happened on that day.
Crazy.
And also things like what happens within a day. Sometimes we might forget, like let's say we have 5 different meetings in 5 different,
Recollecting everything throughout the day and telling you it in a easier manner or a brief way,
yeah,
so that you have an idea what all you did throughout the day.
yeah. And sometimes even like you went to 5 different places today, and somewhere you forgot your car key, right? And then now you cannot find it. You can ask it, hey, where did I leave my car key? And it will tell you that you left it on
Because that is
cafe,
recording everything.
in that table, right? So it is able to look through. So it has like VSS capabilities, video search and summarization. So it searches through the video data
It's like surveillance that is with you throughout the day.
right? So that's why when we have technologies like these, we have to actually see which companies are providing the best security. In Pegasus, I think 80% of our effort is on security, on providing end-to-end.
I'd really love to have a hands-on on this device, because हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं अगर AI के साथ नहीं चलेंगे तो AI हमसे आगे निकल जाएगा, right? And we have to be, smart enough to, be ahead of the artificial intelligence. Yeah, I'm just thinking after what you said, मतलब is there a possibility कि हम लोग आने वाले कुछ सालों में ये देखें कि AI will be replacing all the apps that we have on our phone? Basically अभी जैसे हम WhatsApp use करते हैं, Facebook use करते हैं, and what not, right? Too many things that we are using. Is there a possibility कि आने वाले टाइम में your phones will be completely AI customizable, so that you just have a AI model that is loaded on your phone और वही सब कुछ कर रहा है? वो उसी AI मॉडल में WhatsApp भी है, Facebook भी है, Instagram भी है, सब कुछ है, right? You just open the phone and it tells you everything, like, and automatically reply on your behalf also.
I think that is what Meta is trying to do, right? Meta is trying to build a unified platform. The US government keeps on asking them to decouple all of their different technologies. I think under Obama administration, they were getting a big push to sell like WhatsApp business to somebody else, Instagram to somebody else, because they are getting too powerful. Like about a human, they know too much. They have the data from Facebook, they have data from Messenger, from Instagram, from WhatsApp, right? So they know pretty much almost everything about you. Then even on the upper echelons, there are companies like Apple, on which phone all of these things are running, right? So they have like what you are talking about, with whom, what apps you are using. Apple is recording, even though they don't like to say so, they are recording your phone usage at all times. So whatever you are using, your screen is being recorded all the time. So then whatever app you are using, doesn't matter, they have the data on it, right?
या एप्पल इंटेलिजेंस का यही तो ये लोग कह रहे थे ना, दैट AI agents are being installed in your phone by the brand, और वो AI agent आपकी हर एक्टिविटी को मॉनिटर करेगा और उस बेसिस पे इट विल बिकम मोर इमोशनली इंटेलिजेंट, क्योंकि इमोशन इज समथिंग जो कि AI को सिखाया नहीं जा पा रहा आसानी से. एंड इमोशन कब उसको समझ में आएगा? जब वो आपकी डे टू डे लाइफ में सब कुछ देखेगा, सब कुछ समझेगा, सब कुछ सुनेगा, आपकी बातों को ऑब्जर्व करेगा, आपके बिहेवियर को ऑब्जर्व करेगा, आपके अराउंड क्या बातें हो रही थी, उसके बाद आपने फोन में क्या सर्च किया, क्या खोल के चेक किया, कौन सी ऐप पे गए. दैट इज हाउ दे रिकॉर्ड योर बिहेवियर. एंड इफ they have an idea how a person behaves, वो उसके इमोशन को समझने में और ज्यादा सक्षम होते हैं, राइट?
यस, दैट इज ट्रू। एंड मुझे तो लगता है कि इमोशंस एंड फीलिंग्स कैन बी प्रोग्राम्ड इनटू एआई, and there is a big push for that also for all the frontier models. They want their AI to have emotions, they want their AI to have feelings, things like that. But again, not unchecked emotions or feelings. It is actually checked and controlled. Lekin there is a big push for that.
Do you think AI is the last invention of humanity? I read a tweet somewhere and वो उस दिन से मेरे दिमाग में ना it's hitting really hard. Is it true that AI is the last invention of humanity?
Not at all, not at all. मुझे लगता है 4500 years ago when humans built pyramids, उनको लगा कि अरे इतना अच्छा स्ट्रक्चर बना लिया, उनको लगा होगा उस टाइम पे this might be the last invention of humanity, right? क्योंकि उस टाइम में whatever we knew, right, that's what we thought. But AI is just a stepping stone for human civilization, and will make much more interesting technologies, much better and much more efficient technologies in the future. AI will be one of the subsystems that goes into those larger systems.
But is AI becoming more powerful than governments?
Yeah, of course, it already is. How do you define
How
power?
serious is the problem?
So, I mean, different people might define power differently, but power is intelligence, and intelligence is data, like what you know.
Right.
How much does Indian government knows about each of its citizen, right? How much does Google know about each of the Indian citizens, or how much does Meta or
A lot.
OpenAI
A lot.
know about each
A
of
lot.
its citizen, right? So, and once you know about someone, then you can influence them, right? I think Indian government, or if I have to point out, Modi would love to eradicate American social media systems from India, right? And he has tweeted about it many times. He has said that, oh, so there are so many smart brains in IT who are Indians all over the world. Why don't we have a chat bot like, or a chat system like WhatsApp that Indians created, right? We have like 2 billion population.
Right.
It would immediately have 2 billion users.
India created UPI. That's one of the biggest things in the world. मतलब इतना seamless, smooth, unified payment platform नहीं है किसी भी country के पास जितना UPI है. Then why can't Indians create things just like what the US market is creating?
And you saw when Nepal banned social media. I was actually part of it, because at that time I was the advisor to the Nepal government. I had worked on the AI policy.
Wow.
And when they were sending emails to Meta was not responding to them. And then the technology minister asked me for help, and then I actually contacted my contacts in Meta and was able to get the public affairs chief at Meta on the table with the government, and I kind of brokered their conversation. However, the Nepal government decided to ban Meta, and I think you guys might have heard what followed next. There was a big riot. Gen Zs came on the streets, and they said that it was kind of a violation of their digital rights. The government is trying to take it away, and they overthrew the government. So that actually tells you how powerful these are, and who are more powerful, the sitting government or these platforms, right? If Modi tries to go against Meta in India, then Meta will definitely start going against Modi, and maybe in the next election, BJP might not win, you know. So these platforms have those kinds of powers that it can influence elections.
That's too powerful for a human being to understand, क्योंकि हम जिस लेवल पे बात कर रहे हैं और अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं ना, अगेन as they say, AI is a black box, right? And ये हम लोग सिर्फ censored AI की बात कर रहे हैं, right? There is another thing called the uncensored AI, right? जहाँ पे कोई फिल्टर नहीं है, जहाँ पे कोई मतलब कोई बाउंड्रीज ही नहीं है, you can do whatever you feel like just by creating an agent or asking an agent. How bad is that situation? अभी तो हम censored चीजों की बातें कर रहे हैं. What if people get hold of the uncensored AI openly? तब क्या होगा?
That can cause a problem.
How bad of a problem?
So almost 30 to 35% of all the data on the web or internet is on the dark web, right? Which is uncensored internet. Like all sorts of things happen, like really bad stuff happen there.
Like?
Human trafficking. You can hire an assassin to go kill someone, just paying them Bitcoin. Nobody will ever know your identity, right? Like drugs, any kinds of drugs are bought and sold in the dark web. All kinds of information that cannot be put in the censored web are actually there, right? A lot of like bad content is also there. And definitely there are AI models that are actually being trained on the dark web data, because people can access the dark web data. You could buy the data, right? Like those hackers who have stolen, like every time we hear that American Express just got hacked, or TransUnion or Experian in the US got hacked. What it actually means is that hackers stole all the American citizens' credit card usage data. So they know who is buying what using their credit card on a daily basis. They can actually build a model out of that on every human. And now an AI, and you could actually go and buy that. Identity theft. I think American citizens, 100% of the American citizens' identity data is sold or leaked, because hackers steal them, everything from their citizenship number, social security number, their insurance numbers, their credit card usage, and then sell it on the dark web. And then there are AI models that are trained on it. So a lot of harm can be done by these agents who are trained on the dark web data.
If AI falls into the wrong hands, it will be there will be a lot of problem.
Definitely.
मतलब how dangerous do you think AI is in warfare? मतलब अभी हम लोग देख रहे हैं the Iran-Israel situation, America is completely involved in the process. UAE का बहुत बुरा हाल हुआ है पिछले कुछ दिनों में. And whatever is happening, right? It is happening with the use of AI. All the missiles, everything that is being launched right now, it is with the help of AI, right? How dangerous is it?
Yeah, I mean, if two parties who are in war, so in this example, like US, Israel on one side and Iran on the other side, if they have equal capabilities in AI, then I think it's a fair game. But again, they say that everything is fair in love and war, right? So maybe unfair imbalance of AI capabilities is okay in the war. But we can clearly see that US is winning a war in a territory that they don't have much experience with. Of course, they had experience with performing operations in Iraq, Syria, and those places in Middle East. But Iran is a completely different animal, right? It's a large country. It has vast amount of resources and wealth, right? And seems like US was able to send a couple aircraft carriers, a fleet of drones and F-35s and F-16s, and it is able to give Iran a very, very, very tough competition. Also, it seems like US and Israel alliance is actually winning this war, right? And one reason behind that, one big reason behind that is AI, right?
Wow.
So AI in warfare is imminent, right? And we can also see like the usage of drones in this war.
Right.
So it looks like the future of warfare is just two countries, AI drones fighting each other.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll say बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो ह्यूमन माइंड्स के लिए समझना अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल है. बट जब हम मुश्किल की बात करते हैं और ह्यूमन माइंड की बात करते हैं, देयर इज ऑल्सो अ टर्म कॉल्ड AI hallucination and bias, स्पेशली इन द AI मॉडल्स. ये क्या होता है?
हाँ, तो AI whenever there is a gap in information that it has to produce, what it does is it generates that information. So it pretty much hallucinates it. So like let's say to answer a question, it needs 3 different data points, A, B and C. लेकिन इसके पास सिर्फ A है और C है, B नहीं है. तो ये B को जनरेट कर लेता है by doing an averaging of A and C. लेकिन वो जो रहता है वो तो रियल डेटा से मतलब फार भी हो सकता है. It thinks that it might be the most accurate answer. It gives that answer anyways. क्योंकि आप चैट जीपीटी को कुछ भी पूछो आंसर तो देता ही है.
हाँ.
आप कैसे भी प्रॉम्प्ट लिख दो, सिर्फ 2-3 सेंटेंस का प्रॉम्प्ट लिख दो, वो आपको आंसर देगा. और अगर उसके पास इनफ कभी कभी कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं है, अगर बहुत बुरा प्रॉम्प्ट है, सिर्फ 2 वर्ड्स है और 3 वर्ड्स है, तो आपको और इन्फॉर्मेशन मांगेगा. लेकिन मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम अगर आप 2 डेटा पॉइंट दे चुके हो और बीच का तीसरा नहीं है, तो ये हेलुसिनेट कर देता है क्योंकि ये एवरेज आउट करके इन्फॉर्मेशन निकाल लेता है.
We have understood a lot about AI and the software part, right? But a lot of people, they don't talk about the hardware part. And again, जहाँ से हमने start किया था, you are not just an AI scientist who has worked on the software part. You are a person who has actually understood the hardware part of it, जिसकी वजह से, as they say, your tool is performing much better than many other platforms or many other tools that are available in the market. Even NVIDIA के CEO ने इस बात को बोला कि our product is much better because our hardware is 100 times better than what the other platforms are using. What is the role of the hardware and hardware किस तरीके से better हो रहा है time के साथ?
हाँ, तो one industry that is ripe for disruption is semiconductors industry. Semiconductor is a very slow moving industry, right? To come up with a new process node, it takes around a decade, like minimum 6-7 years to 10 years to go from one technology node to another technology node. And the reason behind that is that every time you're going from one tech node to another tech node, you're actually shrinking the size of transistor, increasing the capacity, and decreasing the power consumption, right? So it's a lower power, higher capability, and smaller size chips. So it literally requires new physics to be developed. And I think because of this advancement of all of these reasoning models that understands physics very well,
right,
we might go from a decade worth of cycle time from going from one technology node to another. We might go from 10 years to 1 year now. So every year, or maybe after that, maybe every 6 months, or after that every 1 month, we will be getting better and better chips. And the chip industry will be focused on producing AI chips, right? So chips that are designed to solve AI workloads.
AI chips कैसे different है than the other chips, and उसके पीछे की core philosophy क्या है, core thought process क्या है, core engineering क्या है? क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है कि यार जो चिप जैसी चल रही है, right, that is the chip that will be best for AI computing also. But क्या engineering में difference है between the chips that are for core AI computing and the other ones?
हाँ बिल्कुल है. एक तो मतलब टाइमिंग रेजोल्यूशन फर्क है. जो हम नॉर्मल चिप्स यूज़ करते हैं जैसे हमारे लैपटॉप में, तो उसका टाइमिंग रेजोल्यूशन रहता है 32 मिली सेकेंड्स.
ओके,
तो एवरी 32 मिली सेकेंड्स, तो एक सेकेंड में देयर इज 1000 मिली सेकेंड्स, राइट? तो एवरी 32 मिली सेकेंड इट एक्चुअली साइकल्स, इट ब्लिंक्स, इट बीप्स every 32 milliseconds.
okay.
So that is how fast it can schedule operations and then it can execute tasks. So we are going from 32 millisecond to now in some chips, AI chips, we are going to 1 millisecond timing resolution. There are some new AI startups that are trying to push in the nanoseconds, right? So it becomes lightning fast, like the speed that we have not even seen till now for compute. So time window shrinks, right? So in 1 second, so like let's say if it's 1 millisecond resolution, in 1 second it can blink 1,000 times, right? Meaning
Wow.
it can actually cycle 1,000 times. If it goes in nanoseconds, then it can do 10,000 times in 1 second,
Wow.
right? So we're moving towards better and better timing resolution.
Wow.
And then these chips are actually designed to process large amount of data at the same time, because if you're putting like larger and larger context window, and now we're also talking about like most of the AI today is running on the cloud, but there's a big push for edge AI.
Yes.
So AI actually runs on your device, so it does not have to ping the cloud and then come back to you. It does the processing right on the device. So we're actually seeing that there is like bigger cache sizes for like improvements in the context window. So those things are actually coming, and that's the future of the chip industry.
वाओ दैट्स सच अ ग्रेट थिंग, क्योंकि हम लोग ना हमेशा ऊपर ऊपर की बातों को सुन के और इनकम्प्लीट नॉलेज अक्वायर कर लेते हैं और ऑब्जर्व कर लेते हैं. आई थिंक थ्रू वॉट एवर वी हैव हैड अ कन्वर्सेशन अबाउट, इट वॉज सच अ इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ सर्टेन थिंग्स जिनके बारे में जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है, राइट? Ujjwal, from the last few days, I read a lot about AI and other things. And जब मैंने क्लॉड कोवर्क की न्यूज़ सुनी तो के बारे में पढ़ा, तो आई इवन फाउंड आउट कि अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही Anthropic has sued the US government because of some unethical things that the US government has done. इसके पीछे की कहानी क्या है?
So the night before US-Iran war broke out, Anthropic realized that their AI model, or the government cloud of Anthropic, which is 15 times faster than the Anthropic that civilians use, that we can use, they found out that that cloud has been used in several of the US Army operations, including the Venezuela operation that captured Maduro from his house, and then also it was about to be used in the US-Iran war. And the CEO of Anthropic and their legal team, they reached out to the Pentagon and said, you cannot use our AI. And then they actually copied and pasted the lines from their terms and conditions or terms of use, and then sent it to them, emailed them saying that, look, according to our terms of use that you have agreed to, you are not able to use it for war or to create the kill chains, because they were using AI to create the kill chain, like who should be killed first, and then who should be killed, and then who should be killed, and their location, and which equipments need to be deployed, like F-16 or F-35,
Seriously?
from which aircraft carriers, so all of that. So Palantir being the front-end software, and then Anthropic was the back-end reasoning model provider that was
In a
being used.
workflow, US government workflow बना रही थी Anthropic से,
Yeah, for this
कि
war.
For war.
Yeah. So
मतलब
which aircraft carrier needs to be deployed where, at what time, which
Crazy.
fighter jet needs to be deployed from that aircraft carrier, which locations, who should be killed first, right? And then who. So so it's called a kill chain. So kill chain was actually being built using Anthropic. And then they found out they
That's
restricted the
dangerous.
US government. Trump went public on a public announcement and said that he's going to ban Anthropic from all of the government uses, where like government revenue is a huge revenue for Anthropic. So Trump actually threatened Anthropic to do it, because no one knew, actually civilians didn't knew that next morning there is an attack that is going to happen on Iran. So it was a huge problem for the Pentagon too, because right before the war is about to happen, the CEO and the legal team of Anthropic is saying you cannot use our AI. And looks like they went ahead and used their AI anyways, despite them asking not to use it. So then Anthropic's team decided to sue the US government, that we gave them the warnings, they have signed a certain terms of use and conditions, and they are still using our AI to create this kill chain, and in coordinating this war.
That's dangerous. And यहीं पे the ethics part comes in. मतलब even big governments like the US is using AI to create a workflow, as I will say, right? मतलब मैं उसको workflow बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि क्या करना है, कब करना है, कैसे करना है, कौन से जेट्स कैसे अलाइन करने हैं, कैसे प्लेस करने हैं, पहले किसको मारना है, फिर किसको मारना है, मतलब किल चेन. It's वेरी अनएथिकल, वेरी डेंजरस. एंड यही सबसे बड़ा फियर है मेरे माइंड में भी और बहुत सारे लोगों के माइंड में भी होगा कि द फ्यूचर ऑफ एआई कैन बी कंप्लीटली वेरी डेंजरस. यू नो, मैं सुबह भी यही चीज़ सोच रहा था कि एक इंसान एआई से क्या क्या नहीं करवा सकता. मतलब सेंसर्ड इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. अनसेंसर्ड एआई से आप एक हैकर बनवा लो जो कि लोगों के बैंक अकाउंट्स हैक करने लग जाए.
Yeah,
पॉसिबिलिटीज आर एंडलेस.
It's possible.
एआई एजेंट ही तो है.
yes, yes.
कीमी हैज इट्स ओन थिंग. वहां पे उनके खुद के आप कमांड देते हो, वो कंप्यूटर बना देता है.
हाँ.
ठीक है, और वो कंप्यूटर आपके लिए काम करना स्टार्ट कर देता है.
Correct.
राइट. व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैकर डज, अ हैकर हैज अ कंप्यूटर जिसपे वो कमांड डालता है और वो आगे चीजों को हैक करते हैं. It's like I don't know what will be the future, but it might be as bright as the sunlight or as dark as the black hole.
Yeah, so इसीलिए सस्टेनेबल AI डेवलपमेंट का बहुत ज़रूरी है. It's the time is really crucial and critical right now when it comes to AI development. AI needs to be developed for the betterment of the civilization,
Right.
but it should not perform any harm to the humanity, and it should not erode the fundamentals of humanity from the civilizations. So the development needs to be happened, but it needs to be sustainable. And that's why we have World AI Alliance and other non-profits that are working towards ethical AI, because we're at the very high times right now where we start having discussions about ethical AI and then ethical use of AI in the warfares too.
Wow, that's so amazing, I'll say. And the entire conversation, I know it's a long podcast, a lot of people will definitely learn a lot from it, a lot of value addition, a lot of things जो कि लोगों को स्क्रैच से एक ऐसे पॉइंट पे ला सकते हैं where they can start earning money just with the help of AI. And I'll say thank you so much, Ujjwal, for being here, sharing all the insights and busting a lot of myths too, especially when it comes to AI, जहाँ पे लोग एक्चुअल में बहुत ज़्यादा डरे हुए हैं. उनको लगता है कि यार AI ऐसे और AI वैसे, and you just gave a clear perspective of what your thoughts are and what the facts are, because AI के बारे में बहुत सारे लोग बहुत सारी बातें करते हैं जिनके पास कोई बैकग्राउंड नहीं होता, कोई नॉलेज नहीं होती. बट यू, जिन्होंने खुद हार्डवेयर में भी काम किया है, especially when it comes to AI, and yourself are an AI scientist, I'll say thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the Misfit Humans platform. I think this platform can really take some complex subject, break it down into simpler knowledge modules, and able to provide the knowledge and education to the people in this community. So I think you guys are doing a great job at it, and I was delighted to have this podcast with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.